Let's roll. This is Countercharge, your podcast for ranks, flanks, and kings of war. Join your hosts as they delve into the world of Panithor and bring you worldwide coverage of all things Kings of War.
And I think we are live. No 30-second countdown for us. We don't need it. People are too excited to have this discussion that we don't need to build the hype train anymore. Really excited and welcome to have you guys watching the 2025 U.S. Masters matchup cast. I'd like to first introduce your illustrious panel. First, we all know to know him is to love him. The fabulous sensei, Mr. Mike Rossi. How you doing, Rossi?
Wow, dude. That is a fantastic picture. I'm sad that you found that. I'm going to stop being friends with you on Facebook immediately.
Well, to me, it spoke to your inner chi the most of what I could find. So I hope that you are
you nailed it.
As excited to be here as I am. We also have, as I say, don't threaten him with a good time, Mr. Matt Carmack. How you doing, Matt?
That was also a good photo. The rare actual photos of me. I'm doing good. So staying busy.
Awesome. Staying busy. And then, of course, me, Jeremy Duvall, happy to be with you guys. Matt and Mike are going to be our official broadcast team for this U.S. Masters. We're going to have them on the cast tonight. The great streaming that we're going to be having live from the Atlantis Casino Resort. Mike and Matt will be your two main broadcasters. I'm going to be running around. I'm going to be doing a little tournament TO, a little bit of judge calls. I'll be Matt and Mike's reporter in the field. So if you guys have questions during the live stream, like, hey, what unit is that? Or what turn are they on or whatever, Mike and Matt will be sending me over to get that information. So a couple other things I want to share with you guys. Really excited. We got two other great TOs helping us this year. Mr. Kyle Timberlake. He is going to be doing mostly stuff around Best of the Rest, but we'll be also helping TO Masters and then Britton Williams also. So essentially the three of us will be running around, making sure you guys are having a great time, enjoying the accoutrements and everything that the Atlantis Casino has to offer. So I'm really excited. This is always such a cool time of year where people are getting excited, getting ready for U.S. Masters. I just want to take a quick minute as we get started to thank our sponsors. We have a ton of great sponsors. We got a lot of great prize support for you guys. We got a great swag bag for everyone coming to Masters. And just a shout out, Wing Desire Publishing, Mantic, Loose Caboose Hobbies, Data and Dice. We're going to be using some of their statistics tonight, but stay tuned. Trevor is going to be releasing a blog within the next couple days, which will have super deep dive into the data side. Thanks to War Chest Creations. And for those of you who don't know, Game Envy, which is a great hobby supplier, they are sponsoring the first ever Masters first aid table. So we will have a table with paints, brushes, glue, any last minute modeling you need to do or painting you need to do. We're going to have a cool table set up with paint to use, wet palettes to use, and all of the stuff that we'll have for that table will be given off at the end of the tournament. So more prizes for us to give. So thanks so much to Game MB. So first, I thought it was interesting. Before we get to the list, we're going to talk a little overall data. And here is our faction breakdown. So I'm going to take us through the faction breakdown, and then I will throw it to our illustrious panel to start doing a little prognostication. So Dwarves coming in at number 1 at 7, which is interesting. Night Stalkers coming in at 6. Twilight Kin and Abyss are tied at 5. We have a couple coming in at 4, Kingdoms of Men, Free Dwarves, and Ogres. Trident Realms is 3, Halfling is 3. We have a bunch coming in at 2. Goblins, Northern Alliance, Abyssal, Salamanders, Ratkin, Forces of Nature. 2 at Elves, and then we have a bunch of factions coming in at 1. We have Varangur, Horde, Orcs, Undead, Ratkin Slave, Empire of Dust, Rordia, Basalian's trademark, and the Brother Mark. So what stands out to us with this list? Anything, fellas?
I think I checked on the missing ones, and it was Sylvankin, Ratkin proper. No, Ratkin are represented. Brother Mark. Yes, because Brother Lady. No, it was Brother Lady. That was the surprise one. It was Brother Lady was conspicuously absent.
Yeah.
Sylvankin made a little bit more sense. They've been on a downswing since 24. Everything else kind of lines up with my expectations. The thing is, realistically, if we had perfect balance, right, you'd expect to see 2 to 3 of each list in a 60-person field. That would imply that like we've got perfect representation, like a perfectly even split of 28 factions divided. 64 people divided by 28 is like 2.5, technically less than that. So,
Yeah.
a lot of this is healthy, and then obviously the standouts are Dwarves, Night Stalkers, Twilight Kin, Abyss, and Kingdoms of Men, surprisingly. I'm going to personally count Free Dwarves as regular Dwarves. I know that's hearsay amongst the Dwarves, and I'll probably hear comments about that after the stream, but in my mind, they're all just Dwarves. So I do think Dwarves being popular has been on the upswing. I think Twilight Kin are still doing pretty solid, despite 25 taking them down a notch. I think Night Stalker's been solid since before Clash 24 and haven't really changed much, so they're still good. And the 2 newcomers, I think, this year, which makes sense, at least to me, at least a little bit, are Forces of the Abyss and Kingdoms of Men. With Forces of the Abyss, obviously, just got the recent update, so that's going to see a lot more people doing that. And then Kingdoms of Men, I think, is mostly due to the Beast Cav change, but I could be wrong in that, and I'm interested to see those lists as we get into them.
Yeah. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, for me, the one of the big changes is the number of ogre lists is way down compared to previous years, right? So the balancing that has happened, you can't just cookie cutter and take the same thing. Now you can take almost the same thing, but people are jumping to other options because of that, right? But besides that, everything really goes to type. I am, 11 dwarves, right? All said and done is a lot of the field, right? And so if you're not, I don't know if the defense 6 wall is a reaction to alpha, right? The rise of alpha.
Yeah.
But it seems like that is a pretty I don't know if it works, but it's relatively easy to deploy on the table, right? If everything can just turtle up,
And we've seen dwarves, Alex Chavez won Masters with dwarves a couple years ago, and we've seen dwarves, but I think the infantry dwarf, right? If you played infantry dwarves back in the day, that was kind of like, oh, wow, you're like the one guy who's playing infantry dwarves. And that seems to be, yeah. Whereas like you guys are like, you had the future sight to see that infantry dwarves would be the bomb.
If I was a better player, I'm always like 1 or 2 years ahead on the dwarf meta, but I'm not very good. So
yeah. Yeah, and we see that obviously when we look at top units, right? This is definitely skewed towards dwarves. We have Iron Guard coming in at 29. Abyssal Berserkers at 17 is really interesting. That's a newer unit, right? That came out in the last Abyssal update. Ironclad, Soul Flares, Sharpshooters, Steel Behemoths, right? Scarecrows, Tormentors. I mean, this to me feels, I'm the one little kind of component that's a little new to me is that Abyssal Berserker slot, because that is a newer unit, but everything else in this list has good value, right?
Right. I'm not surprised about the Abyssal Berserkers at all. They are great. They are great. They are great at any size, right?
Yeah.
And they synergize well with other parts of the list, and they're just, man, they're mean. So not surprising.
A lot of this list, talked about it briefly before we got started, but yeah, repeating it here, that a lot of this list is reflective of just what is being brought to Masters as an army, right? So like Iron Guard 29, there were 7 dwarf players, a lot of Iron Guard coming out of those dwarf players, 16 dwarves and large beast. Now there's still definitely some upswings here, like these units are definitely still being taken. Iron Guard makes sense because it's more of the core infantry unit in the first place. Steel Behemoths and Dwarfs on Large Beasts, I've had my eye on for a second. Like, those are definitely upswinging. It's the defense 6 wall, as people were bringing up. And they're just really efficient points-wise. They're really good. Soul Flares doesn't surprise me from all the Night Stalker and Twilightkin players. I'm actually a little surprised the number's not higher between the fact that they can be taken in both of those lists, and combined there's about 10 lists there that could take them.
Yeah.
But still doesn't surprise me to see them as the most popular Night Stalker unit. And yeah, can't avoid it. Abyssal Berserkers are definitely pretty popular right now. So not entirely surprised by that.
Yeah, when talking about Berserkers, Tom does mention 9 of those are probably George's, which is spoiler alert. Mr. O'Connell does love that unit. So so it's, and we throw these numbers out to you is not they're maybe not GPS, but there could be maybe a star in the sky that is guiding us on our old sailing ship. So I think it is still interesting to think about. We always talk about on Scrying Gems, right? People take to Masters what they think is good or what they think will do good against what people bring. So this still is a little bit of value on what people are thinking. Masters may be the right environment to have these units in. Okay, for top Magic items, some interesting stuff here. Sir Jesse's Boots, obviously top chosen Magic item. Brew of Strength, quick behind it. Hammer of Measured Force, Brew of Sharpness, Conjurer Staff, Loot. We got the Periscope, Fire Oil, and then Blood of the Old King. It looks the average points spent on Magic items throughout all 64 lists was 44 points, with an average of some people. We had some who didn't take Magic items all the way up to 145 points. So I kind of feel we've sort of that 50 to 75 points in Magic items. That feels about right to me, I would say. I mean, over the last, I see like that's like a good amount, I think, to not invest too.
I think I'd have to go checking in spreadsheets to go confirm it, but I'm pretty sure as cheap as a unit can get is like in that 50 to 60 point range. So it makes sense that the average cost of Magic items is lower than that because boys before toys. That's definitely been just kind of the style, especially at higher level play. You definitely see a lot less Magic items, a lot more units. If you're taking Magic items, they're very specific, very high efficiency impact on certain units, and they're typically the list we see here. I was mentioning it earlier. I'll say it again. I'm actually surprised Jesse's Boots isn't higher. The global data for Jesse's Boots is basically a 2-to-1 ratio over the next biggest thing, which is not Hammer Measured Force, Brew of Strength. So the fact that it's actually only like within a percentage point above it is actually a good sign, because that means that less people are taking it, and that we're seeing a more healthy distribution of items. But yeah, other than that, all these make sense to me. Like, all the first 4 are hit harder items, and then you get into more very specific utility, and then you get into your 5 points.
Thank you, Mr. Murphy. We appreciate it.
I was surprised when I read through this, and the Edge Periscope was taken 10 times, and
that is a little surprising.
I was looking at I did a review of the list beforehand, and it is every short caster on foot is walking around with a periscope, right? Hiding behind stuff. It's smart. It's a way to do it. But once again, it's a thing that it popped up this year compared to last year. It's kind of cool, right?
I guess I'm also a little surprised to see Fire Oil as high as it is up there over like Blade of Slashing or something similar for 5 points. And also Staying Stone. Like, those are my usual, like, I would especially expect to see Staying Stone like higher up, because that's the usual waiver mitigation item these days, but I don't see any of those on this list, which is a little shocking.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm wondering if that's with so many dwarf players taking regiments, Staying Stone usually fits so smoothly on the large infantry. You know what I mean? So
yeah, that's true.
I'm
less
wondering
ogre players,
if
less
ogre players, right? Maybe you see a little bit less Staying Stones.
Yeah,
Trolls, right?
It's a fair shout.
And Blood of the Old King is awesome, and every list I take from now on will have it.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Larry brings up a good point. Fire oil, knowing you're going to see with the new abyssals and regen, maybe the value of maybe that goes up a little bit, and that's just enough to.
Yeah.
Interesting idea. Yeah, for sure. Okay, drops in unit strength. This one I thought was very interesting. Okay, so the 14 average drops feels good, right? To me, I always say between 13 and 17, usually if someone's like new to the game is asking, 14 feels right. With goblins at 24, Northern Alliance at 11, as far as the outliers, right? Unit strength, 25 average unit strength with the number one unit strength. How do you live with yourself, Kyle Poole? Is as we will see Scott Holcomb with his Basalia army at 33 and infantry brother Mark at 31, with lows of 19 and 20 with the herd and forces of nature. What do we think about drops in unit strength?
The brother mark being that high, again, having not seen the list yet, but I have a suspicion of which one that might be. That does not surprise me entirely. I've seen horde-themed brother mark lists. They can absolutely do a infantry horde army, and it can dump a ton of unit strength on the table. Herd at 19 on the lower end also does not surprise me. That probably means it's going to be a faster list, more monster-focused. Force of Nature, probably also faster list, monster-focused. Less large infantry hordes, or just not enough of them to really make the difference. Those numbers just scream Alpha Strike to me. Or something very specific and utilitarian that I'm going to be surprised by and be excited about. Northern Alliance having 11 drops doesn't surprise me. Goblins having the most drops doesn't. Like, most of this is part of the course. I am curious to see the Basilian list with 33, though. That one I'm interested in.
And it's a list that a Riddle Steel he won a tournament with it in the Pacific Northwest. So it's a list that he's been playing, very much his own thing, but I'm excited to hear your feedback as a lover of Basalia myself. That's going to be an interesting matchup when we get, and a beautiful army. Great hobbyist. Cool. Okay, so hot off the presses, the round one scenario will be stockpile. So stockpile, before rolling off the choose sides, you place 3 piles of loot counters on the center line as follows, where you have 3 loot counters must be placed in the exact center. And then you have the 2 piles of 2 along the center line, but towards the outside of the board, right? So we will be, so keep that in mind as we're looking at these lists, that we are playing stockpile. And just as a reminder, it's in the Discord, Masters Discord. We've had some people ask questions about loot tokens and how they work. So feel free. There's a message from Brendan, probably too small for you guys to see here, but where all the details around that, I'm not going to get into it here, but it's all posted if you have any questions about the interpretation of that rule. But stockpile, an interesting scenario to begin the event, I think.
Yeah, it's actually, I was looking at the 8 scenarios that were selected this year, and if they're not the area control, like dominate, invade, control, right, hold the line, the rest of them are loot tokens, if I remember correctly, right? We're not doing objectives this year. Apparently, we just threw that over our shoulder, and instead we're doing loot tokens for like 3 of the other 4. So it's a high,
yeah.
If your army doesn't have a lot of units to pick stuff up and score, then in some scenarios you're gonna have some trouble, right? Yeah. One of the questions that came up in the chat is who has the highest number of scoring units, which is different from unit strength, and that is going to matter for these types of scenarios.
Totally, yeah. So for all those extra info around the data, stay tuned for that deep data dive blog where Trevor's going to go through the data in even more detail. So right. We'll have links to that when that comes out. Yeah, and just some transparency around the scenarios, how that worked this year for Masters is we presented all the scenarios to the Masters Council, which consists of all the different region heads, and then everyone voted on what are the scenarios that you want to be in the possible pool of usage. And so that's how we got to the scenarios that were of probability. But yeah, so that's going to be interesting, an interesting scenario for sure. So, are you guys ready? We're ready. We got a lot of tables to go through tonight, fellas. So we're gonna just kick it off right away. So, table one, we got Neil, and if I mispronounce your name, I apologize. I'm saying that now for the whole night. Neil Colley from the Midwest is playing Jeff Bodine from the Southeast. So I will go ahead and read you through their lists. So Neil Colley from the Midwest, he's playing Orcs. He's got 4 regiments of Young Axe, 2 legions of Axe with the Skull Pole. One's got Sanguinary Scripture, and one got Aegis of the Elohi. He's got a War Drum. He's got a Flagger with Bane Chant with the Lute, 2 God Speakers, one with Bane Chant and Heal, one with Shroud buffed Heal, and then running the Triple Dragon, running 3 Crudgers on Wing Slashers. That's cool. And he's going to be facing Mr. Jeff Bodine from the Southeast, who is playing Ogres. He's got 3 regiments of Warriors, 3 hordes of Siege Breakers, one with the Chalice of Wrath, one with the Dwarven Ale, one with the Staying Stone, Boomer Chariots. He's got a Mammoth, 3 Ogre Warlocks, Lightning Bolt and Drain Life on all of them, and then Grakamagok and Namagarok. So like a pretty nice, hard-hitting, what you would expect to see out of competitive Ogres, I think.
Yeah, not a huge amount of differences on the Ogre side of things from what was pretty much the staple last year. The only thing that is distinctly different is one less Siegebreaker Horde being swapped out for Grok, and I feel like that's, I guess, the Mammoth instead of maybe insert some other options here. I don't know about that. I don't know that it doesn't have flanks. It's still Orcs. They're still going to be slower than the Ogres for the most part. The Siegebreakers are a little bit slower now, but they're not the things that really have to worry as much.
Yeah.
And those Young Axe are going to have to crowd around that drum to stay relevant for longer than a turn.
And I always find the good Ogre players, too, they know how to be outsped.
Yeah.
Outspeeded. So they have a lot. I bet you he has a lot of experience on how to deny space against flying dragons. Jeff does. He's a solid player.
Right.
But I mean, it is a point.
I do like Triple Dragons.
And on the other side of that,
that's cool.
Yeah, I think it's fun. It's cool. Yeah.
Right. I love the idea of legions of orcs, of Axe. That's a giant nerve block, especially in scenarios where you want to pick stuff up and live to the end of the game. And if Neil is smart, there are ways to position your regiments and such where you're denying the opponent to get multi-charges, even on a giant base like that. So may be able to mitigate some of the maneuverability that Bodine's going to bring, right? So.
And I mean, Siege Breakers are a nice unit to get on a stockpile, right? And just start farming tokens and be like, come at me, bro. They don't have to move anymore, right? They just are sitting there and they're just sucking the tokens up.
Yeah. Counterpoint, that is usually one of Orcs' biggest problems is getting places. Because they're still speed 5 typically, and if you touch trees, like, you're not moving at the double. So stockpile means you don't have to get that far up the table. Just got to get 12 inches inward, and you're relevant. So
well, I would hope so. Yeah, interesting.
It's cool. I really like the Orc list. Yeah, it looks super fun, right?
Mm-hmm. Fun matchup. It does. Yeah. Okay. So as we go through these matchups, sometimes we may not know who. I mean, if we were to pick a winner in every single one, to me, I feel sometimes it's like throwing a dart at a dartboard. So as we go through these, we're going to give you our feeling. If we have something that really stands out to us, as we really think this person's in big trouble, or maybe someone's a well-known player versus an unknown player, maybe we'll comment on that. But I think this is just going to be a close match, so it should be pretty interesting to see how this one shakes out.
Right.
I know Jeff's a great player. I'm not super familiar with Neil, but he definitely has the tools, I think, to give Jeff a run for his money.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Okay, on the table 2, we got Stephen DeRose from the Mountain playing Mr. Larry Essex from the Southeast. So we have for Steven's list. This one's interesting too, because we only had to go 2 tables in to see a Kingdom of Men off. So we have on Steven's list, he's got 1, 2 regiments of Foot Guard. And then he's got a horde of Foot Guard. I like him. He's got the Sword in the Stone. He's got the Round Table. I imagine those may be like things modeled on the base, but very cool. A couple units of Beast Cavalry. Looks like he's given them both Fly, Speed 10, Thunderous Charge, Vicious. So running them as the Flying Beast Cav. He's got 3 Ballistas, a Giant, a Wizard, 2 Wizards on Pegasus, which is pretty nice, and then 2 Generals on Winged Beast, 1 with Blade of Slashing and 1 with Mace of Crushing. Okay, so Larry's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hordes of Spear Phalanx, all with pikes, all with Indomitable Will. One's got Pipes of Terror, one's got Sharpness, one's got Brew of Strength, one's got Hammer of Measured Force, and then one's got Jesse's Boots. He's got a regiment of Knights, 2 Ballista, 2 Army Standard Bearers, 1 with the extra Bane Chant, Wizard with Shroud of the Saint and Heal, and then he's running 3 General on Winged Beasts.
Man, yeah. The Spirit Hordes don't surprise me. That's the other unit. Like, this is actually both of the things that I kind of expected out of Kingdoms. You got the Spear Hordes in one, and then the Beast Cav in the other. Which definitely is one of the few times that I would say that I think the Beast Cav are not going to like playing against this. That's a lot of phalanx to try to have to play around, and the stuff that's not phalanx is fast flying things that can tie you down until the slow phalanx gets to you. So I think list to list matchup, I'd give a slight edge to the Once and Future King here. Or sorry, not the Once and Future. I would give Larry Essex a slight advantage over the other one. However, I do think that the just Pike Wall will probably run into issues in other matchups. That would be my concern there. Not a whole lot of reach out and touch, and those pikes, they're still going to get touched by something shooting at some point, and that will hurt.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, all those dwarf lists aren't going to care about your phalanx.
Yeah.
Right.
They're just going to...
Not a lot of people floating around, you know?
They are fairly good in the straight-up fight, right? Because he bought them all magic items, so, like, they're all going to put out some damage. And they're backed up with Bane Chant, so they'll hit. They'll grind it out. But I think that there are going to be certain Alpha Strike lists that are going to be totally okay with seeing that. They'll just hit, like, they'll force concentrate, they'll blow a hole in it, and then the pikes are just going to be difficult to maneuver to get stuff back in the front.
Right. The other thing too is Indomitable Will is so good.
Yeah.
Right. So even if those units get themselves in trouble, they're not going to go away.
Oh yeah. Right. The nerve alone will keep them around for a bit, for sure.
Right. I love it.
Yeah, they're both cool lists. I like it. It's also proof that Kingsmen is relevant. Like, they are playable. They're doable. Mm-hmm. Didn't take a whole lot of nudge to get them back in the spotlight.
Right.
It is just it's the classic, right? It's the classic, the army, right? So it's awesome to see it that you can, like you said, Matt, play it at a high level. So.
Oh, yeah.
Right. But I don't remember if anyone. I think one person took a Rordia list. Am I correct in that?
Yes.
You don't have to go all the way back to look, but like,
there's one Rordia.
But there's Kingdoms of Men all over the place in comparison.
Yeah.
You know. So and then only one Basalia trademark.
Mm-hmm.
Too, which is interesting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beast Cav are good.
Yeah, for sure.
Spear Phalanxes are good.
Awesome. Okay, so moving on to table 3, we got a Mr. Paul Cravo of the Midwest versus Andy Patton of the Southeast. So, Mr. Cravo is bringing the Night Raid, which is he's got a regiment of skeletons, skeleton spearmen with Casket of the Damned. He has got a regiment of mummies with Casket and Healing Brew. He's running 3 infantry hordes of skeleton warriors with 2-handed weapons and caskets. He's got a horde of enslaved guardians with Jesse's boots, a couple of desert swarms for Chaff. He's got a bone giant, monolith. He's got a standard bearer on an undead horse with the loot for Banechant, cursed high priest with that periscope, surge, hex, and bark skin. He's got the Arcotton 10. I butchered that. Captain of the Dead, Surge, Spellcaster, Surge, Wind Blast, Wither, and Perish. He's got a Pharaoh on a royal chariot, upgraded to Raz with Veil of Shadows. Yeah, with all those great infantry hordes, right?
Yeah.
And then a Revenant on an undead Great Burrowing Worm. And he is playing Mr. Andy Patton, coming off the Kings of Memphis victory with his Abyssals. He's running a troop of gargoyles, 2 Moloch hordes, 1 with boots, Jesse's boots, both with the spoiler champions. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4 troops of Abyssal Horsemen. That's interesting. He's got a cav of Abyssal Horsemen with Pipes of Terror, Seductress with, so good, with Gnome Glass Shield, Host Shadow Beast. We all love it. Abyssal Warlock, yeah. Zuzuzu the Betrayer, and then running the Abyssal Berserker. I don't know why I can't say that word. Berserker. It's like pamphlet. Formation. Yeah, so that's 2 regiments of Berserkers, right? Is this Berserkers?
Yeah.
And then the Nagari, right? Okay.
It's like, I'm looking for it because I see so much region. I'm like, if he's not taking Nagari, he's doing something wrong. Yeah. Man, I like both I like the EOD list for the creativity. I really like this Abyssal list for what I think is going to be the impact. This is a lot more my style. Those troops are going to be great for like just running into things and letting people bounce off of them. Like, he can pick the fights because they're fast enough, so he'll make sure that the things hitting them aren't going to kill them, and then they're just going to regen and grind stuff to death. And then the Abyssal Berserker regiments can do that, and then he's got the 2 Moloch hordes to can open stuff. Like, it's great. And then on the flip side, I like Arcatan. I wish that Wither and Perish was more playable. Maybe he needs to have built-in Periscope to make that work. But
right.
I do like this as a Roz list. He's got the right tools for a Roz list. Would say I would really like to see Restless Souls of the Raya thrown into here. The French have tuned into that. I'm waiting for us to tune into that. But this is a good Roz list. It's got the right tools. He's got Bone Giant to give the thing to. He's got Skeleton Warrior Horde, so he'll find the unit that can get to the most impactful combat, and he's going to make it hurt.
Right. With a solid line, all of them with the casket though in stockpile.
Oh yeah, he's going to be starting to pick those up.
He's going to control the game starting in the beginning, and Andy's going to have to do a lot of shuffling around.
He doesn't have combat turn 1, 100%.
Well, yeah, right, absolutely. So Andy's list does not have units that just want to sit on top of stuff and pick up tokens. I mean, he's got to be constantly moving. He's like a shark, right? He's got to be moving, murdering, and then turning every turn, starting on turn 2, right? I think for this list to work.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
No, a lot of his points, right, is in the ability that he can turn and burn, right? Yeah. That he can move quick, he can look for flanks, he can get around the board. But Paul, like you said, I think Paul's just moving all his stuff up and saying, again, just like the come at me, right? And then I'm going to put my Roz ability where I need those key combats.
Yeah, I like it. This is going to be a fun matchup.
This is going to be a fun match. Like I said, Andy, a great player coming off a victory, just recently playing a list like this at Kings of Memphis. Paul, I had the pleasure of playing against him last year at Masters. Did really well at Adepticon this year, and this is sort of the only army. He probably plays other things, but this is his refined army. He plays this list a lot, and also really well painted lists. So,
right.
Awesome. Okay, we're going to go into table number 4, which is Mr. Michael Zettelmeyer from the Mid-Atlantic playing Ryan Lampion from the West Coast. So we got a couple of really interesting lists here. We have from Mr. Zettelmeyer, he's playing Night Stalkers. He has 3 phantom troops, 2 regiments of butchers, 3 hordes of butchers, 2 soulflayer regiments, 2 mind screeches, planar apparitionized, a shadow hulk, butcher flesh ripper with mace of crushing, and a dread fiend with blade of slashing. So 15 units, 26 unit strength. And then we have Mr. Ryan Lampion is playing Trident Realms. He's got a horde of ensnarers with hammer of measured force, some placoderm regiments. He's got a couple of large cav hordes of dam busters, one with sharpness, one with haste, 2 knuckers, an arbalest, an aquamage, again with periscopes we see, weakness hex, river guard sentinel, a river guard dam buster sentinel, and then the formation with the river guard troops. So he's coming in, and then with the dam buster, so with the sacred horn that has in that formation. And it comes in at 14 units, 26 unit strength.
Nifty. I like both lists in terms of style. I like seeing the placoderms with the upgrade to unit strength 4 on those regiments. It's fun. I do think that this Trident Realm list might struggle against this Night Stalker list. I think a lot of that shooting obviously gets negated by it being Night Stalkers to a degree, or not negated, but at least reduced, right? And then the follow-up problem is that butchers are just really efficient, and it's going to come down to, can those frogs get some sneaky leaper flanks, basically, which they'll be good in. But they're going to have to find, both of these people are looking to jump over, like, this is going to be everything is height-based game here, so they're all looking to try and, like, get, like, a perfect line of sight to, like, get that perfect flank charge. It's going to be cool to watch. But I think the Night Stalkers have a slight edge just in terms of their units are a little bit more powerful in the straight-up fight.
Right. And the other thing, too, is that, I mean, you mentioned the efficiency, right? Mike has taken a list that has built-in redundancy all over it as well. He's got 2 of this, 2 of that, 2 of this, 3 of that, 3 of that, 3 of this, right? And so it's he can be really flexible with the way he lays the army out. You know what I mean?
Right.
And can react. And just has to what you mentioned before. They're also different heights, different base sizes. Like he's going to be in good shape, right?
Yeah.
Mike plays a very tight geometric game on top of everything else, right? He's just super good.
Yeah, Ryan's one of our West players. Great guy. Definitely newer to tournaments. This will be his first Masters.
Congratulations.
So, yeah, and I always say that, and we have a couple of these round ones where it's welcome to Masters. You get to play in round 1. You know, there is nowhere to hide in this room.
Yeah,
right.
So I think this will be a good match for Ryan to see the caliber of play he's expected to see at Masters, playing a top player like Mr. Zettelmeyer. So should be a fun table to watch for sure.
And for clarity, I don't think he can't do it. I just think it's gonna, like, I just give the edge to Mike here. I think in just the straight up this matchup. So
for sure, I do love me some frogs though.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving around along, table number 5, we have Mr. Corey Walliser from the Northeast playing Elvis Reborn himself, Mr. Blake Robertson from the West. So a couple of fine gentlemen here. Okay, no matter what happens, these people are this table is going to be a fun table. They're going to have a good time. We have Corey Walliser in his prepare to be underwhelmed Ratkin. I love it. He's got 2 regiments of spear warriors. And one is, the trouble with running is wherever you run to, there you
These
are.
names are great.
And the second one is, those with the least always lose the most in war, which, I mean, to me, that speaks Ratkin Spear Warriors. I mean, just chef's kiss.
Right.
He's running 1, 2, 3 infantry hordes of shock troops with plague pots, halberds. One's got sharpness, one's got strength, and they are called halberds are how we practice social distancing. You know where the weight room is? Oh, I'll check it out. Don't worry. Hey, how come you guys got magic items from the unit that doesn't have the magic
yeah,
item?
yeah, that's
Obviously not.
I love it. He's got 2 claw shots, and then the first one is dispensing indiscriminate justice and the righteous smell of gunpowder. Love it. War is a terrible trade, but when the cause is just, the smell of gunpowder is sweet. He's also running 2 Vermintide, the slithering, scurrying rats whose scampering will never let me sleep. And take this quarter, go downtown, and have a rat gnaw that thing off your face. Oh man, I almost made it through all of them without screwing up. He's also got a weapon team. There are 2 things necessary to salvation: money and gunpowder. Okay. He's got a tangle. Oh, what a tangled web we weave when first we practice to deceive. He's got a warlock. Have a smile for breakfast. You'll be shitting joy by lunch. Okay. Got a war chief. When God means to punish a man, he sends him stupid friends and clever enemies. What does that say about you, Mike?
Dude, he nailed it.
He's got Mother Kryza. Cruelty is contagious in uncivilized communities. And he's got Scud. When you're in hell, only a devil can point the way out. Okay, we just got to give him a Mr.
Yeah.
Insert your slip up here.
Yeah.
Right.
Round of applause, sir.
And not a band list.
Round of applause. And then we got Mr. Robertson. Robertson's also playing Abyssal Forces of Abyss. But his aren't all cleverly named, so I don't know what he's even doing with his life. He's got 3. I mean, he got 3 Abyssal regiments. He's got 3 troops of gargoyles, 2 Moloch hordes with champions, 2 tortured soul regiments, Nagari with the Sacred Horn, a Seductress with Glass Shield and Shadow Beast, Warlock with Bane Chant, Mind Fog, Hex, and Conjurer Staff, Zuzuzu with Bane Chant and Lightning Bolt, and then he's got the Manifestation of Baal.
This is a list that did not read the Clash 24 or 25 book. That's I'm just saying that. Like he did that. Okay, I lied. He does have the critical regiment of Nagari. That is the only thing different about this list and what I would perceive as a far more prior to this last Clash Abyssal list.
Yeah.
It's got the 2 Moloch hordes. It's got some Abyssal Guard. He's got lots of gargoyles. And Tortured Souls. Good old Tortured Souls.
I will say in Blake's defense, he is our terrain czar. So a lot of the beautiful terrain that you'll be battling with and on and around at Masters, Blake has been scurrying away in his workshop doing. So this list was the list he was locked in. I think he was not going to have any of the bandwidth to, prepare anything special for Masters.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I get that too. Right. So I think it still works.
That being said, yeah, it's slow. It's a slower, more deliberate delivery mechanism, right? But if he decides to do refuse flank and say, this half of the board is mine, come get it, I think that Corey's probably going to have a tough time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, the good thing for, as far as the Ratkin side of this, is one of the lists I actually get to play. This is most of what I expect out of Ratkin. It's got the weapon team. Scuds is obviously kind of the flavor choice and the war chief specifically, but I do like the war chief if you're taking 3 hordes of shock troops. I think that's the only time it's acceptable to take the war chief is if you're going to invest that heavily in shock troops.
Yeah, that vicious melee is, there's no other reason for it.
Plus it's going to be backed up by Bane Chant 4. One of those hordes is going to be swinging at you with Crushing 2, Vicious.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to hurt.
Right. And then I like the spell loadout on the Warlock because he's got both Veil and Scorched. Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So they're looking at the exact same drops in unit strength.
Right.
Do you think the scenario favors either one of these two? I mean, Corey does have a lot of big nerve pool bodies, I guess, to get up there and start forming tokens, or do we think scenario-wise at stockpile that it's not really going to affect the matchup?
For those listening, starting your drinking games now, the first of these comments that's going to sound like this. I think it will heavily depend on the terrain on the table. I think if the Ratkin player has to, at the double, through terrain and can't get to the center of the table and take position with the hordes quickly, then the Ratkin might struggle to maneuver with the big hordes, as is typically a problem with horde armies. But if they can get there, they will absolutely be able to take board presence. And if you get 3 shock troops, it really doesn't have to be shock troops. You get 3 hordes of phalanx ensnare infantry parked on objectives, shifting them becomes a pain, right? So, like,
yeah.
And even those Moloch hordes will struggle to shift, especially if there's terrain in the center of the board that they can park in. It could get very rough.
And Molochs can only fight one thing a turn, right? So he's, you
could double charge with those into hindered phalanx. Yeah. Like, good luck.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, 2 great guys. They're going to have an awesome time. They're going to really enjoy. If they haven't, I don't know if they've ever played before, but I think they're going to have a great game.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a cool matchup, just some personalities.
Yeah, and if you have a problem with your terrain at Masters, you know who to go blame. Go blame Blake. No, I'm just kidding.
There it is.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Not really.
Not really. Okay, table 6. We have my first going through the tables. Oh, wow. Welcome to Masters. We got Mr. Keith Conroy from the Northeast playing Jeff Shilkin from the Midwest. So Keith Conroy, former U.S. Masters champion, is playing the list, he's probably best known for, right, which is the Herd. He's got an infantry horde of Spirit Walkers with Brew of Haste, 2 Harpy troops, 3 hordes of Lycans, Dwarven Ale, Blood of the Old King, and Brew of Strength, 2 Beasts of Nature with Wings and attacks the 7. He's got a Great Chieftain with the Saber-Tooth Hunting Cat and Horn of the Great Migration and Wings of the Honey Maze. He's got a Druid mounted with the Conjurer's Staff, Bane Chant, Scorched Earth, Moonfang, and a Chieftain on a Minotaur Chariot. So he's going to be playing Jeff Shilkin, who, fresh off his Adepticon win earlier in the year, he is going to be playing Varangur with 4 regiments of Draugr, a regiment of tribesmen with the Hearthguard upgrade. He's got some Fallen, a horde of them. He's got some Snow Trolls, Chalice of Wrath. He's got
2. He's got a second one with Dwarven Ale.
Yes. 2 Snow Trolls, Chalice of Wrath, Dwarven Ale. He's got Magnilda. He's got 3 Fangs on Frost Fangs, and then also 3 Snow Troll Primes. That's like his inner ogre player coming out, taking these high value hero pieces. And then he's got Crufenir, 16 drops, 27 unit strength. And then Keith running 12 drops. So that's that low drops with 19 unit strength.
Yep. Keith's playing Alpha Strike. And that doesn't surprise me. It's what he's good at.
Right.
And I don't think this is the worst matchup for it by any stretch. It's going to get pretty bloody. Those Varangur characters, specifically the Snow Troll Primes, the Thanes on Frostfangs, that's where I think the actual threat is. Like, the Snow Trolls are annoying mostly because they got an 18 nerve at the top, it's just, they're bricks.
Right.
And he can use the Draugr to either kind of buttress and prevent multi-charges, which can make it even harder to pop him in one turn, which, when you're the Alpha Strike player, that's what you got to do. And if Keith gets slowed down having to kill Draugr regiments, then that means that everything else can charge him, and then he's getting Alpha Striked, and Lycans are not exactly durable.
Right.
So I probably give the edge to Shilkin on the list matchup, but I think that's probably true for maybe 90% of matchups against Herd. That's not me trying to be mean to Herd. It's just kind of the reality right now. Keith and I have discussed that, at least to some degree. So Yeah. But that said, it is Keith, and I do think that he has played that list for a long time. He obviously won a Masters with it. So I would not be surprised to see him pull it out.
Yeah, one of the things that Keith is really good at on the table, especially with this list, is his patience.
Yeah.
Right. And so if he was an impatient player, I think that Jeff is fantastic, and Jeff is going to have 40,000 angles down on the table. So wherever Keith wants to go, there's going to be somebody waiting to punch him.
Yeah.
Right. Like that's going to be a thing. But
100%. If it was not
in my mind,
Keith
like Keith can wait till turn 5 and then do something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. If it was not Keith piloting this list, I would be like shilking instantly, like without question. Like, but with Keith at the helm, I definitely think there's definitely this is Masters. It can go either way. It can always swing either way.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, no one can pilots a list, this herd list, like Keith does, right? I think he can operate it at another level. I mean, one thing that stood out for me at Jeff's list is those like 6 drops from all the Frostfang heroes and the Snow Troll primes.
Yeah.
Even if Keith, like, since those are small units, right? It's Keith, maybe has to single charge
Small and
or whatever.
durable
You
units.
can bounce off that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, right,
The
yeah.
Snow Troll Prime is 13, 16. You can hit that with a hammer and not kill it.
It don't matter.
I'm getting. I know. I'm almost 100% certain I know what Adam's running, and I'm getting Adam Ballard vibes of his style of what he was doing, and I'm like, yep, no, this is definitely starting to become some of the meta to a degree, which is lots of small characters that can hit those flanks and deliver not a critical number of attacks, but just enough to tip it over. And you just can't deal with all of them because you outdrop like this at 16 units, right? It's a lot of units. He just has more pieces, more tools he can use. He can trade more things, take more losses before it actually starts to hurt. And all of them score. There's not a single, maybe one non-scoring. Yeah,
he's got Magnilled.
Yeah,
and so Magnilled's worth it anyway, right?
Right.
But like, it's interesting that you bring up a good point, because when you're looking at these large infantry, large cavalry hero types, they have. I mean, Thanes have a lot of attacks, but like, okay, Snow Troll Primes have 5 attacks. Like, that's the standard thing. But you're not buying them for that, right? You're buying them because they have 13, 16, or they have Regiment Nerve, right? And they're on a 50 by 50 or a 40 by 40. So they just kind of like get in the way, and they do the scenario, and they don't really care if you charge them. And right, it's cool.
Yeah. No, I think Jeff and Tom in the audience bring up a good point. Is, as with any alpha, if you don't get stuck and you kill what you charge, you're doing what you need to do. It's just going to be, I know he's going to have that key charge against a 13-16 where he needs a 6 twice to kill. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Or where you should get it, but if you don't, all of a sudden, all his other Jeff's has his, like you said, he collapses. And then that's when Herd can struggle. But
I think there's a lot of like Keith definitely has to play it patient. He's definitely got to wait for that perfect moment. That does make it a little rough with the scenario, because I think Jeff should be the one pushing to sit on those tokens. He's got Draugr to just put out there to do it. But like, there's just a lot of things that are really tricky to. It's just a lot of things that are tricky to pop in one turn if you can prevent those multi-charges, which with so many of these smaller characters, I think you can. So it's going to be close. I think this is going to be a really good game. I don't know that it'll be close. I think the game will be exceptionally good either way. I think whoever wins will probably win very definitively. There we go.
But again, like I say, welcome to Masters round 1. Here we go. Only a couple tables in, and already we have these type of matchups. So really exciting. Okay, next we have table number 7. And then on table number 7, we got Mr. Adam Ortel from Mid-Atlantic versus Robert Zimmerman from the Pacific Northwest. Okay, so I'm going to take us through both these lists. So for Adam, he's playing Trident Realms. He's got 3 troops of Thule. He's got 3 regiments of River Guard, all with javelins, 2 River Guard Dam Busters. He's got a Kraken with the Tidebringer upgrade. He's got an Aquamage with Barkskin. He's got the River Guard Sentinel with Pipes of Terror. He has a Trident King with the King of Mirhim. I forget which one is that one. Is that the Rally one? The Dam Busters? Yeah.
It would have to be with how he's got this set
Yeah,
up.
so that's exactly. So he's got the one that's given the Rally to Dam Busters. And then makes sense. His list rounds out with 2 River Guard Dam Busters Sentinels. 14 drops, 23 unit strength. It's cool to see a lot of River Guard. I think the Dam Busters are just really cool models. So excited to see those units.
Yep.
Robert Zimmerman is playing Forces of Nature. He's got 2 hordes of fire elementals, some forest shamblers, 2 regiments, a greater air elemental, only 1. To live in these days. He's got 2 Pegasi, a druid with Conjurer Staff, Bane Chant, and Surge, a Gladewalker druid on a mounted with Ring of Harmony, Heal, and Surge. He's got a Tree Herder upgraded to the Wiltfather. And then he's got the Air Elemental formation, 2 hordes of Air Elementals with Hammer of Measured Force, Brew of Strength, and then the Greater Air to round out that formation. Getting all those Air Elementals brutal.
Is it just the formation that gets it, or does it also count for the one that's outside?
It is airbound. It's airbound.
Oh no, it is. It is all of them. Yeah,
it is. It's airbound and waterbound.
Gotcha.
Get it?
So, but it's just the one extra greater. But I mean, it still matters.
Yeah,
this one will be fun. I like the Thule troops as chaff. That's cool. Using the ensnare.
Yeah, me too.
The Dam Buster hordes are going to be 17-19 bricks. Yep, yeah. You smile there. I'm like, having to talk Trident Realm players that was a day. but yeah, 17-19 bricks. So
does that rally 2 also apply to the Sentinels as well?
Yep. Or it's supposed to. I think there might be an app error, which I gotta check in on that. But it is supposed to apply to anything that is a Dam Buster, period, which the Sentinel Dam Buster is supposed to be a Dam Buster.
In the name, right?
Yeah. It's in the book, it's just not on the app. But yeah, it's good.
Solid list.
But I like the Force of Nature. This is what I expect out of Force of Nature. 2 greater airs. They're back in fashion. They're not quite as oh my gosh, they were mean before, but I think 9 attacks is the little sweet spot to where they're good, but they're not like overly punishing. Wiltfather is still Wiltfather. Cloak of Death still really solid. Stacks with Brutal.
Right.
Like
these just seem like 2 solid gentlemen, like nothing crazy, nothing, just 2 solid, Bob's your uncle, just they're going to get up there, play clean, nice games.
Yeah.
And, just really nice lists, I think. Showcasing cool units from both armies.
Yep. There's going to be a lot of shenanigans out of the Trident realms, movement jumping over things, and then there's going to be a lot of surge tricks coming out the other side, so it's going to be a balance. It's the ensnare versus surge fight. It's always fun.
It is, which is so cool. Yep. Yeah, which is like the game within a game within a game, so very neat. Cool. Okay, we're going to table number 8. We have Mr. Alex Chavez from Mid-Atlantic versus Mr. Ray Shields from the Northeast.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, this is another great matchup.
Solid.
Alex, former U.S. Master, bringing the army that he won the title with. Maybe not the same units, but same faction. So he is Dwarf Masters 1.0. He is running. So maybe this was pretty close to the list. I wonder if this is close to the list he had when he won Masters. That'd be interesting.
It is not.
It is not. Okay.
No, he's got infantry all over the place. He actually has dwarves in it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because that was all. It was all rocks and brocks before, right? When he won the first time.
The classic.
Um,
He does have some Bronx.
Classic.
Right.
So he's got two Iron Guard regiments with throwing mastiffs,
You should.
3 troops of sharpshooters. He's got Brock Riders with a troop of Brock Riders with skirmisher boots, Steel Behemoth, 2 of them, 1 upgraded to Golocks. He's got Faber. Oh man, Faber's so good.
Because you should.
So good. Dwarf on a large beast. And then he's taking the Royal Guard formation, which is 2 infantry regiments of bulwarkers, and then the horde of ironclad with Hammer of Measured Force. That's nice on them. And then a standard bearer with the Shroud of Saint, so he can get a little heal in there.
Yeah. But more importantly, the elite melee aura, right?
Yeah.
Off of that.
Yes.
So
exactly. With this many attacks, right, is
Right.
really nice. Okay, so he's playing Ray Shields. Ray is bringing his Forces of Abyss.
Yeah.
He's got a regiment of Lower Abyssals. He's got a troop of gargoyles. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4 hordes of berserkers, all with imps. One's got Brew of Strength. One's got Blood of the Old King. One's got Helm of the Drunken Ram. And then the last one's got Sir Jesse's Boots of Striding. He's got what we've seen in a lot of these armies, right? The Seductress, so good, with Gnome Glass Shield and Host Shadow Beast.
Yeah.
He's got an Apostate, which is nice, right? Brings that aura of Vicious to all those berserkers. He's got a Warlock with Bane Chant, Scorch Earth, Zuzuzu, and then the Court of Baal Berserker Regiment and the Nagari formation. So 13 drops, 25 unit strength. So using a lot of the good new tools in this list.
Right.
Yeah. It's the new Abyssal Berserker list, and it's dwarves and what I expect from dwarves, because it's Faber and the other defense 6 shooting wall, backed up by the now functioning infantry, and then it's and the formation that is still really, 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 really good.
It's amazingly good.
Yeah. And then the flip side of that is Abyssal Berserkers, which Ray has made sure that I know quite good. So,
but not the most number of units taken in a list.
Apparently not. Apparently George's list is still the one to check.
Oh my god! Right,
but yeah, which now makes me even more curious what George might be bringing if this is not the most Abyssal Berserkers.
Right,
but yeah, I mean, I've seen it. It's a good list. It plays well. Like, can't complain. It does a lot of, I think, what Keith Conroy does, but in a similar fashion and with units that are a little bit more durable to shooting for at least that one critical turn to get there.
Right. I think that, man, I don't know. I've been a dwarf general for a very long time, and I don't know. I mean, listen, Alex is better than me, but with the tools that he's got, because this is similar to what I would take, man, you can dump all your shooting into the berserkers. You might be able to kill one of the hordes before the other 3 go in. And yeah, they're only TC1, but it's a lot of attacks.
Yeah, I think if you're Alex, the way that you play this is you find the terrain, you park in the terrain, and then you rely on your defense 6 to carry the day here. You play for the long game. And I know it's really rough to say that you grind as dwarves, because it's one of the things that they're not typically good at, because despite being defense 6, they don't have a huge amount of wound recovery.
Right.
But certainly not on the abyssal scale by any stretch.
No.
But I think your output can be just enough once you actually get into combat that you can negate multi-charges. You can put the berserkers don't like trees.
No.
So hitting on 5s and losing that thunderous will matter.
Right.
So I think you do that, and I think you just try to beat him in a straight up fight. And then once the shooting is only for one turn, so find shots in the middle of the cluster.
Right.
And
then it'll be interesting to see what what Ray does with his seductress, right? Because a lot of people with flying characters, they will go back and just start punching sharpshooters in the face.
Did he
but
have Golok?
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't know about sharpshooters because I don't think you kill those fast enough, but I would consider just one critical turn of shutting down Golok.
Yeah. Right. Fly in, cast the Shadow Beast, and start punching holes in the side of a tank.
Yeah.
But it's cool. Both these lists are cool. Right. I think that Ray, even though I hate spam lists, I think that he's got other tools in here, a little of this, a little of that, between Zuzuzu and the Warlock and the Seductress and the Gargoyles and the Lower Abyssals. He has other things, you know what I mean?
I mean, some of these are very specific pieces, right? So the Lower Abyssals those are token carriers. That's what they exist for.
Every day, twice on Sundays.
Yep. And frankly, I'd argue in this matchup, the Gargoyles are also probably token carriers, and then emergency chaff if needed. Right. Because they're the one thing that the doors will immediately shoot off the table, so they're going to hide behind the Abyssal Berserkers the whole game, if not behind terrain the whole game, and just pray.
Right.
And then Zuzuzu is great. Like, I think Zuzuzu here as just another option to throw out some plink damage. That's a good way to pick up some of the smaller dwarf pieces. It's like he's got the flexibility, but this is an Alpha Strike list, 100%. Like it's not pretending.
Mm-hmm. And I haven't played Ray with this list, but I have played Ray many times with other lists, especially his Ratkin. And Ray is a very patient, methodical player, which I think you need to be against dwarves, especially if you're playing Alpha.
Yeah.
The worst, like Cardinal Sin is Alpha, is if you engage
one
too
turn
soon.
too early.
Is the charging the one turn too early, right? Which is what makes great Alpha players like Keith. We mentioned it before with him, right? That little bit of patience, right? So I think this might be a positioning at Fest, and I'm curious to see that one key turn. I'll definitely be walking around like around turn 2 or turn 3. I'm definitely going to come check out this table and see if have the dogs been unleashed yet at that point in the game.
But for those listening and those drinking, this one is another one that I think will heavily come down to terrain. Wink, wink.
I like that.
Very nice. Okay, well, we'll move right along. Number 9, table number 9, another great matchup. This was another one I saw right away, and it was like, ooh, nice. We have Mr. Travis Tim from the Mountain playing one of our favorite chaps, Mr. Corey Reynolds from the Northeast. So let's get these lists ready to go. Okay, so Travis Tim, he is playing the real Goblin King. Get effed, Kyle. So screw you, Kyle. So Travis is taking one regiment of rabble with the Orb of Towering Presence. They're very learned rabble. That one regiment. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hordes of rabble. He's got 3 war trombones, 3 sharpstick throwers, a mincer, 3 wingets, all with the bomb's way, a flagget with Talisman of Silence and Mind Fog, 3 whizzes with Lightning Bolt, one's got the boomstick, Magua and JoJo's, and then 2 kings on chariots, 24 units with 27 unit strength. And then we got Corey Reynolds is playing Twilightkin. Too lazy, the same list as last year. Okay, that's good to know. So he's got some Fleet Wardens, right? A horde with Blood Hex, Veterans of the Celestial War, and Sharpness. 1 with Blood Hex, Veterans of the Celestial War, and Brew of Strength. So 2 really punchy infantry hordes. He's got Mutants with Chant of Hate, 2 Bound Phantom Troops, a horde of Butchers, a regiment of Soul Flayers, Planar Apparition Mind Screech, a Terror, a Navigator with Bane Chant, 2 Crones. One's got Bane Chant and Weakness, the other's got Weakness and Veil of Shadows, and then the discount Mikael, a Soul Bane on a Nightmare with the Staying Stone.
Now, surely it can't be the same list, because technically some of those things went up in points. So Like those
So some adjustments were made.
some minor adjustments had to have been made, but I if you without seeing his previous list, I couldn't tell you what. It has to be like just some magic item adjustments.
Yeah.
Because I do recognize the Fleet Wardens and the everything else. Though I think this is pretty standard all comer Twilight Kin in my mind.
Right.
This has a little bit of everything. The Navigator can adjust as needed to cover some of that. The big difference from last year is that specifically the mutants won't be quite as easy to push in, basically. Like, you won't be able to get Vicious on top of their already pretty good alpha profile, but it's still solid. Still lots of high impact units. The Fleet Wardens are still just as good as shock troops, if not a little better. It's going to be with Travis Tim. Gets a little interesting. So it's going to be the Mind Screeches shooting. That, like, I think Travis's biggest struggle is going to be against the Mind Screeches, which is just old school. The limited shooting coming out of Corey. The problem with Goblin stuff, though, is that if you tickle it, it either wavers or dies. So I suspect he's going to be doing his best to hide those behind whatever he can until he can pop up and do big shooting things to try to pick up the counter shooting. And then just try to make a box and shoot stuff in the box.
Right.
It's a tried and true tactic. It also took a hit, though its hit was the year prior. That was 24 Clash, because Bangits are conspicuously missing.
Right.
And by conspicuous, I mean it makes total sense to me why they're missing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I do like the King on Chariot adjustment as a personal fan. Absolutely no bias there.
I don't know. Every time I see a Goblin list, it's there's a big sign on the table that you put down on 1/3 of the table, and you say, "Don't stand here."
Yeah.
Right? Because if you go in there, you're going to get murdered, right?
Yeah.
But the rest of the table, I don't know. I don't have a feel for how Twilight Kin would get into the nooks and crannies to kill all the killy stuff and still have time to go and deal with a couple of hordes of rabble. It always, for me, is like, you do one and just deal with getting shot. You can do the other.
Yeah.
And then lose on scenario,
I think he plink damages the shooting stuff as best he can, and then he just gets stuck in against rabble, because those rabbles aren't gonna do anything to the Fleet Wardens for the overwhelming majority of it, right? Like,
oh god,
yeah.
No, a Fleet Warden horde charges into anything, it's going to destroy it in a turn. That'll be the end of that. Right? But Travis isn't just going to wander up and be like, "Oh, would you like to kill my rebel?" So
it'll be fun.
I
don't know who to give the edge to in it, because they're both exceptionally good players.
Well, that's what it is, right?
Yeah.
If it was a pair of schmoes, like, I would be like, "Oh, the Goblin guy's going to win."
The other thing is that, what I suspect would happen is if Travis can try to force the issue and, like, steal the tokens, then hand them off to, like, Wingets and Chariots, and just have those, run at that point, like,
right.
But I suspect Corey will probably try to do something similar, like pick up the tokens with the hordes, drop them off, pass them back.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it, but I also don't think it has as big of an impact in this game as previous games. So I think this one's more just a straight up fight.
Right.
Now the question is, Corey makes this sound like too lazy, same as last year. I don't even play anymore. I'm so bad at this game.
I think you're filling in the rest on your own. But
right, yeah. He says that this is too lazy, but he will be prepared to play this army at Masters.
Oh yeah,
right? He is a top level.
Yeah, it's not like he didn't. It's not like he went to Masters last year and finished near the bottom tables like me. He was up near the top, so it's like, oh, I took the same old thing. Yeah, that was really successful, and you're really good with it.
Yeah,
right.
You took the same old thing that you crush people's dreams with on a regular basis, right?
So there you go. And then here's the thing: if either of these guys, obviously, someone's probably, unless they do this weird 10-10 tie thing, like, God forbid, the rest of the field, somebody's going to be in the loser bracket. Just, it looks like I'm getting 5 wins after that.
Yeah. Oh, there's a lot of people who lose their first game at Masters and then lose their second game at Masters, and then they're saying, "How am I 0-2 and playing so and so?" And
Right.
it's like, welcome to Masters.
That's right.
And if you haven't seen Corey's Twilightkin army, it's really beautiful.
Very pretty.
It's all the Japanese style Dragon Kingdom, I think it's range. So definitely he's an army that when you're looking for a player's choice, who you want to go check out.
And man,
definitely go check out Corey's
that
list.
army
Corey's
by Travis Tin, man, it's just so garbage looking. So
well, garbage list for a garbage person, right?
Really? Absolutely.
Rude. How dare you?
I'm just kidding. He's always been a bridesmaid. Is it his time to tie the knot? Is the real question.
That is also true. So we'll see.
Will he get it over the finish line? Like I said, he's just got to come, no shirt, wear the 8 Adepticon medals he won, like Michael Phelps that one year where he won everything, and just blind people with the lights illuminating off his glory. So
wow.
Okay, been through 10 tables. We're moving right along. Thanks to everyone in the Peanut Gallery. Table 10, we got Jared McClure, one of the McClure brothers from Pacific Northwest. Oh, geez. Versus Mr. Tom Anus himself. So let's take a look at what these fine gentlemen has brought. Since Tom has no originality, it looks like he is playing dwarves, which is good, I guess. I mean, if you can't beat him, join him. So let's start with Jared McClure first. He's playing Twilightkin, another really nice looking army. I had a pleasure to play him at Bay of Kings last year. Good dude. So he has 2 regiments of mutants, 2 troops of phantoms, 2 regiments of void wranglers with blood hex, a large infantry regiment of the bound ravagers, and then this is the gunnery crew upgrade, 2 impaler hordes, some soul flayers, a void captain with reaver of the middle sea, a crone with weakness, Mikhail, and impaler soulbane. And he is 14 units, 24 unit strength. So he's playing Tom's dwarves. Tom's got 1, 2, 3, 4 regiments of Iron Guard with throwing mastiffs. He's got a horde of bulwarkers with hammer of measured force. He's got 3 troops of sharpshooters. He's got a behemoth with Golok's upgrade. He's got a berserker lord with blade of the beast slayer. He's got 2 steel juggernauts and 2 dwarfs on large beasts with unit strength of 24 with 14 drops.
Why isn't he taking the formation?
You'll have to ask him.
Yeah,
I don't understand.
Yeah, but probably points. That would be my guess. And squeezing in a banner bear at that point. But I mean, this is definitely good dwarf stuff. The stuff we've been seeing. Steel Behemoth, specifically Golok's Fury, Steel Behemoth, Steel Juggernauts. Also conspicuously missing Favor, Tom. But that I also suspect he is pretty lean on items. Like I see the throwing mastiffs, which they're still good. You still want those so you can clear chaff and do other stuff.
Right.
So it is pretty lean. I'm mostly just giving him some ribbon since he's in the chat. But with Twilightkin, this is again another pretty standard. It's definitely got some adjustments, which is what I like to see. Like there's some differences. It's got Void Wranglers in there, 1 extra mutant, some Impalers. It doesn't have the Fleet Wardens like Corey had, so there are definitely some differences, but it's still a well-rounded, little bit of everything Twilightkin list.
Yeah, I don't know. I look at Tom's list, and Tom again a better player than I am, and similar to what other people are taking. We're going to go through 7 of these Imperial lists, and they're all pretty similar. They're all kind of samey, but Tom's is different. Well, relatively different. Insofar as he's taking 2 Steel Juggernauts, he's not taking Faber. He's not taking the formation. He's made other choices, right? I
Right.
mean, I think the horde of bulwarkers with the hammer is legit.
Oh yeah.
If you're not going to take a horde out of the formation, then that's a good one, right? Especially with the phalanx. But again, I'm looking at the Twilightkin list, and I love that list. It's got a little of this, a little of that. Once again, it has different distances or different ranges, different heights, different. It's a lot of different tools. It's probably looks really cool on the table too, to be honest, right?
He
so
took.
I don't know. I mean,
I totally missed it in the read off. He took the Ravagers with the gunnery crew upgrade. That's awesome. I think that's the first time I've ever seen that.
Right?
Yeah, and this was very similar when we played a Babe Kings was in 1995, so minus a little bit in this, but very similar to this list. Really well played, and I think that's I was pretty vocal in a fear of Twilightkin maybe getting over nerfed, but it seems like people have found that the way to play this army is to play that little bit of everything, which is cool. I think that's a good to have enough interior fighting for goodness that there isn't obvious, oh, you should only take this unit or only take that unit, that it's a list that has a lot of different attachments for your Swiss army knife. You've got a lot of little upgrades there.
You say this, but I have a suspicion about one of the lists that's coming up inevitably. But at least these two are pretty well oriented for sure.
Sure.
I don't really know who to give the edge on this one. I think that this is just going to be a good game. I think Tom has the ranged edge for sure. But obviously it's Twilightkin, so they've got a little bit of negation against that. But then the flip side is that it's also a bunch of defense 6, so the Twilightkin are going to hit, and they're going to have to kill some stuff, or they're going to bounce off, and they are a lot of glass cannons for the most part, so...
Right.
It's going to be interesting.
I think stockpile is good for Tom.
I agree with that.
Right.
Yes, 100%. Because Tom can force the issue. He can walk up and start taking tokens. Like it's effectively a progressive scoring without being progressive scoring because
pretty much, right.
If you can get there and start picking them up.
I also, once again, I gave Steel Juggernauts. I think I don't give them enough credit. I think that Faber is what you would want because the 7 attacks actually matter. The dash 15 actually matters, but Steel Juggernauts can stand behind units of Iron Guard and pick up tokens, drop, pick up, right? And they can essentially be the second line in the back, being like, if you grind through that first line, you're not going to get me, and I've got all the points, right? Mm-hmm. So I think Tom has something going for him on the scenario because of that.
Yeah, if you have a Steel Juggernaut or a Dwarf on a large beast at the end of the game holding a token, right? Those are not an easy piece that, I'll just do a couple of chip damage and get them off the board at the end of taking token. Right. Yeah, right. So I think, and Tom does really well with those unit strength scoring champions. He likes playing those in his list, so he's got a lot of experience using those type of lists. But it's going to be a great game, Tom. Jared's a great player from Pacific Northwest, so first time for you probably playing against him, but he has a really nice looking army, and you should have a great game.
So there.
Yeah. Keith, check that we mentioned it earlier in the episode. On the Masters Discord, there is all of the judges explained very, very clearly how unit tokens or loot tokens are going to work at Masters. So if you have any questions, go to the questions section of the Masters Discord. And if you're not on the Discord yet, just talk to someone on your team. They'll get you set up with the Discord. Okay. We will continue on. Table 11. Mr. Dustin Howard from the South is playing Nate Murray from the West. So let's take a look first at Dustin's list. So the Super Beasts, he's got 4 regiments of Throwing Mastiffs. He's got a horde of Shield Breakers. He's got 3 troops of Sharpshooters. He's got a Organ Gun, a Steel Behemoth upgraded to Golox. He's got a Stone Priest with Periscope and Celestial Restoration. He's got a Garrick Heavy Hand, 2 Steel Juggernauts, and Faber. So he's running the trifecta of juggernauts. And then he is playing Mr. Nate Murray, one of the Murray brothers from the West, who's playing ogres. He's got a infantry horde of hunters with Crocodog and Meat of Madness, 3 regiments of warriors, 2 hordes of siege breakers, a boomer chariot with the Sacred Horn. He's got a mammoth as the big deal, 3 sergeants with heavy crossbows, a bully, Namagarok, and Cuzlo and Madfall.
Yeah.
Fun.
It's cool ogre list. I don't want to say that I quote unquote feel bad for Nate, but like he's going to set up his army and he's going to look down at the table. He's going to look across at Dustin Howard. Dustin's going to be like, "Hey, Bubby, do finger guns and stuff." And after about halfway through turn 1, Nate's going to go, "I have no idea how I'm supposed to win this." Right?
Yeah.
And then Dustin is going to dictate the game for the entire time, I think, in this matchup. Right? Mm-hmm. Only because for 2 reasons. One, I really love Imperial Dwarves in this scenario. He's got the Steel Juggernauts to pick up stuff on the second line. And he's got I am a big fan of Gollux Fury for the Iron Resolve aura, backed up by Garrick Heavy Hand with the Radiance of Life. So you go in, you do damage on defense 6 stuff, and it's like, I healed 2 of them. And then why don't you go back in again? You didn't break me. You only wavered me. Headstrong, right?
Yeah.
So getting through that is hard, especially since I'm looking. He's got a horde of hunters
behind it too.
He's got right. So he's somewhere else. He's got the periscope up. He's snorking around, right? So I look over at the ogre list, and he's got 2 hordes of siege breakers, and a mammoth, and then a bunch of.
It is it's big deal mammoth, right? And he does have Cuzlo, and that's the lizard. Yeah. So it does have that -2 nerve. The one downside being that it's -1 nerve to his stuff potentially.
Sure.
But that does help, right? Because that anytime you can take a functional 17 kill down to a 15 kill before you start rolling dice is good. Is really good in my opinion. And technically, I think it's -3 because it's brutal 2 on the mammoth, right? Yeah, so it's a -3. He's technically taking it down to a 14,
right? It's legit,
which is
right?
Yeah, it's good. Like this is one of the styles of ogres that I've seen kind of emerge now that we've finally broken the monopoly on siege breakers.
Right.
But the counterpoint here is that defense 6 is hard to chew for, and I do think that Dustin has a lot of tools to kind of force the issue. He's got enough shooting. He's got the right types of shooting. Like it's all piercing 2 for the most part.
Right.
It almost all hits on 4s or has steadying.
The other thing that I really like in Dustin's list is he's got a horde of shield breakers.
Yeah.
And it's a giant. For the price point. Yeah, it's a dumpy horde of infantry that moves 4, but it's 25 attacks hitting on 3s with crush 2.
Yep.
Yes, please.
Yeah, he didn't even take Banshee. He doesn't need it. He's just like, I don't care.
No.
Yeah.
No.
And from experience, I hate Garrick.
He's great.
He is absolutely. Defense 6 and an individual who, Radiance of Life, Regen.
Mm-hmm. He's great.
He's a pharaoh.
He has stopped me from losing my flank so many times. Right? It's like, go solve that problem.
Yeah.
Right. Go get in the way, buddy.
Because all these other things, it's like you can get enough impact to want to get it, but when you've just got that little tiny individual base, like it's so hard to get enough actual. Like that's why the Pharaoh was cursed for so long. So, but yeah. I definitely give Dustin the edge here. I don't know Nate personally, so that's not a judgment on his capabilities. This is just strictly, I do know Dustin, and I think this is a decent list matchup for him.
Absolutely.
If I've mentioned before, Nate, hi, and if not, come say hi.
Yeah. Nate, Nick Murray, two of the West Reno guys. Nate definitely has been wanting to get better and be more competitive, and there couldn't be a better person for you to play against. Is Dustin Howard.
Yeah.
So this would be a game, if I would talk to Nate, go in like a sponge. Just go in and just absorb and like watch what Dustin, he doesn't take any movement that there isn't a plan behind, right? So everything is particular, everything is precise.
Right.
Also, too, in case of a zombie takeover, I'm going to get Kyle Timberlake and go hide behind this table because Nate is also a very large gentleman, and Dustin is a very large gentleman. So this is the table when I need help breaking up any shenanigans. I'm gonna go get these two fine fellows. So, but should be an interesting match. Awesome. Okay, so we're gonna go on to table 12, which is Nathaniel Johnson from the Midwest versus Big Dan Wright from the Pacific Northwest. So let's take a look at these lists. Okay, so Nate is bringing his Grim Guzzlers. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 regiments of Iron Guard, all with dogs. He's got triple Steel Behemoth and 3 Dwarfs Lords on Large Beasts. 12 drops, 24, all defense 6. So Dan Wright, he's got Rangers Go Pew Pew. So this is a free dwarf versus Imperial Dwarf battle for our hearts and minds. He's got 2 hordes of Shield Breakers with Blessing of the Gods and Chant of Hate, 3 regiments of Rangers, 3 regiments of Ironclad with Throwing Mastiffs, 2 hunting packs, a Stone Beast with Alchemist Curse and Barkskin and Fireheart Amulet, a Army Standard Bearer with Bane Chant, 2 Lords on Large Beast, and a Stoneclaw Champion.
Yeah. Spam. Lovely spam.
Yeah. I've seen this Nate list before. I've seen it played before. It's actually, this is as crazy as it sounds. I actually don't think this list is as scary as it looks. Like, it is defense 6, but unlike a lot of the other dwarf lists, it has every wound that hits is sticking, right? Like, so if you can get in there and start hitting it and pin down those dwarfs on large beasts, then those infantry got no crushing, right? Like, you get in there, you just grind them out,
right? And
then you just have to isolate and get rid of the steel behemoths and dwarfs on large beasts. And it's only 12 units, so you probably outdrop it on average. We said the average drop in most lists is 14. So you should be able to lock it down and get to some flanks, and then you can start rolling a flank, and then you can win.
I think you have it nailed. The interesting thing here is that everything except for the steel behemoths in Nate's list does 2 wounds.
Yeah.
I've played this. I've played it for years. Everything does 2 wounds. If you're lucky, it does 3.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? And meanwhile, those 2 hordes of shield breakers, the Rangers can do a little bit of, they're not going to do shit. They're not going to do anything this game. They're going to ping,
right? But it sticks, right? Every wound sticks.
That's right. Well, unless they're outside of the Galax, the Iron Resolve range, right?
But sure. Yeah.
Right. But like, I don't know. Like, I look at this and I think that to your point, it's sticky insofar as this defense 6 is not going anywhere, but it doesn't do any hurt. It can't remove other units. It can't remove pieces. He's going to get, if Nate's smart, he's going to be able to release 4 regiments worth of Mastiffs on a target.
Yeah.
Right. And so, Dan Wright's not dumb. He's not going to move the shield breakers up and let that happen to him.
Yeah.
And then everything else is pretty much going to be hitting things that are defense 5, or he's going to kill some Mastiff hunting packs, and who cares? So this is going to be it's going to be interesting. I'm making it sound as if I don't like Nate's list, but I'm looking over at Dan's list, and once again, he's got a bunch of points in Rangers that aren't going to do much.
Right.
He's got a bunch of points in Ironclad that aren't going to do much. He's got a bunch of points in Mastic Pack that aren't going to do much, And so he doesn't have any tanks. He doesn't have any big steel walkers to do anything, so I don't really know, right?
I think the issue is not so much that Dan's list is bad, but that this is the type of thing that Nate's list is actually okay against, right? Like, there are going to be, I guess the better way to phrase this is, there are absolutely going to be matchups that Nate is looking to dodge, because he will absolutely have some pretty hard counters to that list, in my opinion. Or if not hard counters, at least soft counters to that list that he's going to want to not hit. But Dan, on the other hand, I think will have a wider ranges of lists that he'll be okay against. This is just the one that he's not, if that makes sense. So it's, I don't think it's impossible for him to get through it. But I do think that it's because it's dwarf on dwarf, right? So he has the same problems. He also does not have a huge amount of recovery, right? Stuff that sticks. He does at least have Alchemist Curse, right? Which is a great counter pick to stuff like this.
Absolutely.
So that will help. And he has his own dwarfs on large beasts. So, but I do think that there's not really a big of a speed advantage there, right? So the fights are going to be pretty much just dead. Like they're both going to kind of hit each other at the same time. There's not going to be a real dictation as to who gets to pick where the fights are. Because like that's what I was describing about Nate's is like, if you can pick where the fight is happening, you can force concentrate, you can start wrapping that flank. But those free doors are not going to be fast enough to actually do that. So I think it's just going to be a head-on fight, and that's exactly what Nate wants to do. So I would give the edge to Nate ever so slightly, but I think it could. Here you go. It could come down to terrain. It could come down to who bites that first turn charge, who starts hitting on those 4s and 5s.
Awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
Should be a good matchup for sure. Okay, so let's take a look at our next table. Table number 13 is James Greenman from Pacific Northwest versus Mr. Jeff Radican from the South. So James is playing an Ain't Ogre Till It's Ogre. He's got 2 hordes of Ogre Hunters, 2 hordes of Siege Breakers, one with Wrath and one with Dwarven Ale, 2 Red Goblin Blasters, 1 Crocodog Wrangler, a Sergeant with the Paymaster upgrade and Orb of Towering Presence, Berserker Bully, 3 Warlocks, all with Lightning Bolt, one's got Drain Life, Namagarok, and then he's got the formation with the Red Goblins Sharp Sticks Regiment. He's got large infantry regiments for the Namagarok's Cabal of Ogre Warriors. So 16 drops and 27 unit strength. So he is playing Jeff Radican from the South. Jeff is taking Kingdoms of Men. He's got 3 Spear Phalanx Horde, all with Pikes and Indomitable Will. He's got a Horde of Foot Guard with Indomitable Will, a Night Horde with Indomitable Will and Brew of Strength. Love that on Night Hordes. He's got 3 Giants, all with Cleavers. Army Standard Bearer with Loot. 2 Wizards on Pegasus. One has Knowledgeable Bane Chant and Veil of Shadows. And then he's got the Captain for 12 drops and 28 unit strength.
Yeah.
Huh. This is not what I expected Jeff to run, though. In fairness, I think he sent me like 6 different lists over the course of the last 2 months and asked opinions on them. So it could have been any of them. But 3 Giants is usually not his MO, but I actually like that here.
Yeah.
This is. I think it's still a good list. It's got a Cav Horde, which is always a thing. It always has been, right?
Right.
He's got the new Phalanx Spear Hordes, which are fantastic. They're just bricks. They're going to be hard to shift. Giants are also bricks and hard to shift. He's got the Standard Bearers, so those bricks are going to be even harder to shift because they're all going to have Life Leech. And he's got he's got multiple sources of Bane Chant, so he's got some redundancy built in. One of those Pegasus is just there to get in the way. And the big thing is he's definitely... Captain is always kind of interesting to me. It's one of those things where I think if you've played against lists enough, it doesn't hit as hard, but it can definitely be a big scenario winner when we're looking at Masters style play. Because you could deploy half your army and then effectively just deploy nothing. And then just pick what side after your opponent's deployed, 4 things functionally.
Right.
But all that said, I still sometimes think that you can effectively, based on how to... Here you go. Depending on terrain, you can see kind of how things will be set up and where they will be forced to go. What's the most optimal way to play out a map. So I don't put a huge stock in the captain, but it'll definitely catch some people out.
Right. I love James Greenman's ogre list.
Oh yeah.
I'm not saying it's good, but I love it. He's got 2 hordes of hunters, which I think are great. He's got 2 hordes of siege breakers, Chalcerath and Dwarvenale. And yeah, okay, they're not as good as they used to be, but they're still good. He's got 2 red goblin blasters to do whatever the heck he needs them to do. And then he's got, the warlock battery, a bully. He's got a sergeant with the orb, which I think is really awesome in scenario play. Yep. And he's got the 2 regiments of ogre warriors and a regiment of sharpsticks. Like, I'm looking down that list, and he's got, unlike the monotone, like most ogre armies to me are beige, because it's the same thing over and over and over again, and you know what you're going to get, and they're all beige or taupe or eggshell or off-white or whatever. Like, in my mind, but he's got like a bunch of other different things. They probably all play the same on the table, to be honest, but whatever. Like, he's got a bunch of stuff on the table that I think gives him a lot of flexibility. The other side of this, though, when I look at Jeff's list, Jeff wakes up in the morning. He opens up the book. He goes, "Oh, this is efficient by 3.5 points or 5 points. Let's just steal. I'll take a bunch of these." And so he's done that here, right? Yeah. As he always does. The spear phalanxes are great. Indomitable Will is great. Giants are great. You know what I mean? Wizards on peg. And I love this, a wizard on peg, but the guy doesn't know how many spells, so he's just a jerk. You know what I mean? Like, he's failed. I'm a wizard. Like, I'm sitting there like Leviosa, right? And getting murdered by stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, I think the Jeff's list is really efficient, and Jeff's not an idiot. He's gonna play really well, right? So I love James' list because it's cool. I love Jeff's list because it's effective.
Yeah.
Leave it to Jeff to be like, oh, I have 65 points left over. What should I do? Jeff is like, oh, get a unit strength scoring 1 flyer that can do it, he has that mind, like you said, of the mayor of Value Town, right?
Yeah.
Which is, everything is in his list. It's because he thinks it is great value.
And it's all scoring excluding the standard and the captain. Yep.
Yeah.
So 10 scoring units. That's probably like the only thing that I think is a little spooky, is that means you could potentially run out of scoring stuff in matchups that aren't this one. But I think in this matchup, James's biggest advantage is he's got more drops. So he needs to use that. Just gotta take advantage of the fact that he can try to maneuver a little bit, because that Cav Horde's going to delete 1 unit a turn once it starts getting stuck in. And it will be interesting. I am happy to see the Paymaster, and specifically that combined with Hunters, I think is really good. That's definitely something I think a little different from the standard ogres. Hunters with Ensnare getting rallied up to 16, 18 is pretty solid.
Pretty much, yeah.
And he's still got the triple warlocks, so still got some recovery and options to whittle down the spear hordes. I don't think it's impossible, but it is Jeff, and we'll see.
Yep.
Yeah, awesome. Should be a good matchup. Okay, let's go on the table number 14. We got Mr. Tyler Schultz from the Mountain against Mr. Scott Holcomb from the West. Okay, let's take a look at Tyler's list first. He has Order of the Brother Mark. He has 3 hordes of penitents, a men-at-arms spearman horde with veteran command, 2 paladin monster slayers, 1 has brew of strength, and those are hordes, a Villain bowman, 3 phoenixes, 1 ancient phoenix, an exemplar paladin, an exemplar chaplain with Loot of Insatiable Darkness, Bane Chant, Veil of Shadows, and battle hymns, High Chaplain Augustus with Bane Chain and Heal, and 2 Ogre Palace Guard captains. And then we got Scott's bringing his Basalia.
We had the one brother versus the one best.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. The who is gooder? Scott's bringing his heavy sisterhood themed Basalian list, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 regiments of sisterhood infantry. He's got 4 regiments of Elohi, Two he takes with the extra strength, and one's got fire oil. He's got 2 Panther Chariot regiments, an Urhalohi with Blade of Slashing, and then he has the formation, which is the 2 regiments of Panther Lancers and the 2 troops of Gur Panthers, the Golden Panthers. And that gives the aura Fury Beasts. And that comes in at 15 units, 33 unit strength. So this is a lot of bodies.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, dude.
I know
And
Tyler's
it's
list.
fast,
Yeah. Good.
right?
Good.
So it's everywhere all the time, right? Man.
People are pointing out, and it is correct, because these are the 2 highest unit strength armies in the whole event, which is actually crazy that they got matched up against each other.
31 and 33.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But not strictly the most drops. There's 15 on
15 on 15.
Okay, so yeah, so tied on drops. Sisterhood infantry are going to be really good against those Pentients, but they also don't necessarily want to get hit back by that. Like it's actually pretty good for a matchup too, because like the rampage boost is helping them, and they will get that first impact, but they're still defense 3. And the Alohi are really good as chaff pieces. Personally, like those regiments with the 2-handers are probably looking for kind of playing the Soul Flayer tactic of like find that flank and squeeze in there. But the 2 that are still defense 5, like those are just chaff pieces. They're some of the best chaff in the game. And Urlohi for some dread. I like this list. This is cool.
Well, it's tough. It's really hard to play against.
Yeah.
Those Alohi regiments giving Sisterhood Elite.
Yeah.
All of a sudden turns those infantry regiments into like pretty impactful combats.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
And the Panther Chariots are getting the elite from both the Alohi and the Urhalohi, the Panther Lancers. So, and he has so much speed in this list. Usually he dictates the charges he wants, and he gets those Sisterhood infantry regiments where he wants them to be.
Right.
They're the back line, very difficult to maneuver around because you have 4 Alohi regiments. You have 2 Panther Chariot regiments that are speed 10, 2 Panther Lancer regiments that are speed 10, Gur Panthers that are speed 10. It can be a very difficult list to outmaneuver.
Yeah, some of it. So, like the thing about the Panther Lancers, the Gur Panthers, from experience, is that they're more chaff than they are like impactful units. It depends a lot on the matchup and other stuff. Like obviously, a Gur Panther flank into those Sisterhood infantry would be really impactful. In this case, the Pentients on the other side, it would be impactful there. Anything that's low defense, they can still make a big impact on, and there's low defense stuff in Tyler's list. So It's not that they don't have targets. Tyler's like counterpunch here is going to be the Monster Slayers, which are still really solid, and those are also big chonky hordes. This is going to be fun. I don't have any other words to describe it. Like, this is just going to be a fun matchup. I think the Basileans, if I were playing that list, it's definitely a list that would be my type of list, like my style of like, I like pinning things in place and like locking stuff down and knowing exactly what my opponent's going to be doing for a turn, potentially 2 turns, right, with those Alohi. And he has a lot of things to lock Tyler's stuff down, but Tyler's stuff isn't really looking to outmaneuver in a lot of cases. He's basically just a big freaking brick, right? So like he's just going to walk up and say, "Come get me." And on the other side, like the rampaging Sisterhood are gonna want to get stuck in too. So this is just going to be a bloodbath.
There's gonna be a lot of murder, dude.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, and the one thing that like that Sisterhood list wants to sit back, dictate charges, combo charge. I wonder if the 3 Phoenixes, and it's not a lot of shooting, but against defense 3,
right, exactly. Get that plank.
Is it enough shooting to force Scott to have to maybe engage a turn earlier?
I think that this one. I don't think that people are trying to get me to say the terrain thing. I don't think terrain matters in this one. At least not to the same extent as other ones, especially because there's a lot of Pathfinder. So like it's most of the Scott's going to dictate when the fight happens, I think.
Right.
I do think he has a little bit of a clock due to the shooting, but I think he just has to play it really. He's got to play it like Alpha Strike. He's got to play it super patiently, and then pick a section of Tyler's list, force concentrate, and then try to roll a flank. And it's going to be hard because a lot of this chaff is not going to survive for the 2 turns that you would really want to like start rolling the flank here.
Right.
And a lot of it could get picked up by shooting if he doesn't commit fast. So it's going to be really interesting. I do think Tyler has the edge on scenario because he wants to walk up, start taking those tokens, and again, that just puts another clock
right.
to force the engagement faster. So this is going to be a really cool game to watch, I think, just because the 2 different lists, and they're very, very unique compared to a lot of stuff we've seen. And obviously, they're both great players, so it'll be good to watch. That kind of thing. But yeah, I see people commenting stream this, and so far this is definitely my vote for stream table.
Yeah, I will. This one looks good, and it's going to be a beautiful. Both great painters, Tyler and really good full army, theme guys with their how they paint and model their army. So this is going to be a good looking table.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Awesome. Well, we go from Tyler to one of his running mates on table 15. We have the stoic one, Mr. Garrett Mercier from the Mountain versus Keith Randall from the Southeast. So let's take a look at what these 2 fine gentlemen are bringing. So Garrett is bringing Twilightkin. He's got a horde of Fleet Wardens with Blood Hex, Veteran of the Celestial War, and Brew of Sharpness. 2 troops of Phantoms, 2 hordes of Butchers, one with Sanguinary Scripture, one with Blood of the Old King. He's got 2 regiments of Soul Flayers, one with Helm of Drunken Ram, one with Jesse's Boots. He's got a Planner Apparition, 2 Terrors, a Navigator with Inspiring Talisman, and 2 Soulbanes, Impalers on Soulbanes, which I love. 13 units, 23 unit strength. He is playing against Keith Randall's Elves. Keith's got 2 regiments of Gladestalkers, a horde of Seaguard with Fire Oil, 2 troops of Silver Breeze, a regiment of Stormwind Cav, the Quicksilver Lancer upgrade and Brew of Strength, 2 Draken Rider hordes with one with Sir Jesse's Boots. He's got Argos Rodinar, and then the double Drakon regiment, Drakenkin Lord formation that gives those regiments nimble. So real classic Keith Randall list, 12 drops, 25 unit strength.
I don't know if this is the same list I played against Garrett at Bug Eater. It looks similar. There's I recognize most of it. I don't remember if he had terrors or not. That's the part that I'm trying to distinctly remember. His list looks the same as it's always been. Nothing has changed. It's Drakons and things that shoot.
Yeah.
He's squeezed in the Stormwind Cavalry with the Quicksilver Lancers. That makes sense to me. And Argus is really good, especially now that he scores. So
Garrett says that it is
gotcha.
new. This is
so
new.
there's those terrors definitely were not there before. Which I do think terrors are good. I just don't think they're going to enjoy fighting this list as much. There's not enough things to rampage on.
Right.
But Fleet Wardens are gonna, Drakons don't like to run into Fleet Wardens. And Soul Flayers are still going to stand behind things and jump on top of things. And Wind Blast is really annoying to fight against when you want to have the ability to jump on top of units. So I do think, as all elf players do and should be doing, Keith has the right tools to kind of put the clock right. Like that shooting is a clock. Garrett has to make the commitment at some point. And yeah.
I love it. UB is going to be packed tonight with people,
Right.
with people practicing matchups.
One of the things about Keith's list is I know in the chat he's getting beat up a little bit for taking the same thing year over year over year, but it's not like he's bad with it.
Oh yeah,
right?
No, exactly. Right.
You know,
Like
and the list totally works. Right. So he'll.
I make fun of it, right? We haven't, as you do, hasn't been said yet. People have been negging me to say that for their drinking competitions, but it's this is the as you do elf list, right? Like it's the Drakon hordes plus two,
and you can't
Gladestalker regiments.
You can't really slack off someone for taking the list that they designed and created.
Right.
This is the combined arms leaning towards shooting. This is his arm. This is his build. Yep. It's what he's known for. It's what he plays so well. So precisely, this is this is his baby right here. This list.
Yeah.
So.
If the three pillars are grind, shooting, and Alpha Strike, then this is you lean as hard into the shooting and Alpha Strike as you possibly can while having zero grind. So
yeah.
And it works really well with elves. So
absolutely. Right. Which it should.
Yep.
And I like the horde of Seaguard. I know Keith has been back and forth on playing lots of different variations of. I know he played with a Palace Guard horde for a little bit. To maybe trying to use the BSB and elves. Is there something in there? But I think the one in playing against this list a lot, if he does get unlucky and lose a couple pieces, he doesn't have a lot left on the board. But I think even a defense 4 horde, it gives him some body, right, that he could stick in terrain, right?
Yeah, I will say, taking bets now. Start up those betting websites. God forbid on Garrett Mercier being awake at 4 a.m. still painting his army the night before.
Well, that's the question, right? How close is this to being finished painted? That's the. Will he be painting in the car?
Yep.
While driving. Awesome, great. Should be a really fun matchup. Table 16, we have Mr. Noah Hutton, which I think is Jake's brother. Is that correct?
It is.
Mid-Atlantic versus Nick Murray from the West. So let's take a first look at Noah's list. So he is playing Ratkin Slaves, which maybe is his list also for Crossroads, I'm thinking, Mr. Corey Reynolds. Or they could just be at a Crossroads. Deciding their future, but we got 2 hordes of slave wretches with Last Breath, got a horde of decimators with Blessing of the Gods, 2 hordes of slave nightmares with blight cannons, 3 Katrushan rocket launchers, an Ironcaster, Golek Skin Flayer. The Ironcaster has Mindfog Alchemist Curse. He's got a Kryza Gore Impaler, and then the formation, which is 2 slave warrior infantry horde, regiment, and then also another regiment, and then a chariot. I'm not really familiar with what this formation does since it's Ratkin Slaves.
So the chariot taskmaster can pick one of the slave regiments basically and make it explode intentionally. Is kind of how it works.
Right. He can just trigger their last breath.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Nick is bringing undead. He's got 2 skeleton spearmen regiments, 2 wraith troops, 3 hordes of whites, 1 with Meat of Madness and 1 with Sir Jesse's Boots. He's got a necromancer with Surge and Veil of Shadows, a BSB with Tome of Darkness and Surge from the Tome of Darkness. He's got Morgoth the Faceless, a Lycanus, and then he's running the Zombie Legion, which are the zombie formation with his 2 legions of zombies with that Gore Blight, Cloak of Death, and then the Vicious Aura, right, for zombies?
I only remember the Cloak of Death, to be honest. Rallying 1 for the -29.
Yeah.
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
And the zombies get Iron Resolve and Phalanx.
Yes, and Phalanx.
Gotcha. So they get to stick around forever, right? Which, once again, for this scenario is going to be pretty good. Right.
Yeah, makes some super tanky hordes. Right. Super tanky legions.
Yeah. I had the opportunity to play Noah at Orktown, and I played against this list. And man, nightmares just aren't good for the points you pay. And he was trying to tell me these are amazing. This is how the army's supposed to work, and then it didn't work. I don't know. I think the nightmares could be something else, but the rest of the list does what it's supposed to do.
I'm gonna like throw an alternative on that. That's like I agree, but partially. I get what he's trying to do with them, which is like that. Ideally, the way you want to play this style of Rack and Slave specifically is you throw the Rack and Slaves in front, and then you create the little buttresses. You put your shooting units in between, and then you fire through.
Right.
And then when the Rack can explode, they do more damage, and then you clean up with the shooting units. I think the problem with Nightmares is they're better. The whole point of them in the Ratkin list, as opposed to Ratkin Slaves, is that they're a counterpunch unit that has a shooting attack, and so you want things to engage them to make use of their high defense and their high nerve because of rally. Because they're better in combat than they are at shooting. The shooting attack is a bonus, not their focus.
Right.
I think that this list would be better served if he had more Decimators to do the same thing that he's trying to do, because I think Decimators do that job better.
Absolutely agree.
So it's the right idea, but I think those Nightmares should just be more Decimators, and he can definitely afford them. I think if he squeezes some points around. And they're almost as good in combat, but they are significantly better at shooting.
Oh yeah.
And but I do like the style of the list. I think he's doing the right things there. It's hard to squeeze in things. Rack and Slaves are kind of this nebulous thing. I would prefer to see over Kryza's Gore Impaler. Every time I play against Kryza's Gore Impaler, I get scared for a minute, and then I remember it doesn't have Pathfinder, and you stick it in a forest, and I just laugh at it.
Right.
So it's cool conceptually, but I just feel like I would rather see Tunnel Runners with +1 to hit as a backup unit to scare things.
Right.
But yeah, other than that, cool list. Ratkin Slaves are... Yeah, exactly. Some of those other lists, like the ones we saw earlier, Tyler, this Ratkin list might actually do good against. Adam makes a good point.
Oh, that's true. Absolutely.
But not this undead list. He will absolutely eat those zombies lunch, but everything eats the zombies lunch. That's the point.
Yeah. That's who cares, right?
Yeah, and the thing that's going to hurt are the zombies will happily go toe-to-toe with those Rack and Slave units. They will happily kill them and let them explode. They just don't care. And then the whites will clean everything up because you're absolutely right. Those Nightmares are not going to outfight whites in a one-on-one fight. Yep, and the Decimators are going to struggle. He also just has a lot of other things going on in this list that I like for undead, like Goreblight plus Morgoth is a really good combination. It's another one of those -2 nerve before you start rolling dice combos.
Yeah.
And then Wraiths are obviously they're still some of the best chaff in the game, and even when they're not chaff, they're just really, good units, period. Like, they can find those flanks and be mean. So, like, I like this undead list. Yeah, Tom pointing out.
Good question.
Yeah, I like this undead list. I do think this undead list is good. I think that Noah's list is going in the right direction, and it just needs a couple more tweaks, and then I'd like it a lot more.
Yeah, I also think that it's if Noah's in a game where unit strength matters, if your special ability is that you get to blow up your units, like that is really situational and pretty detrimental.
Exactly. I literally just got done playing Event against that army, which is why I know that's what it does, and I was like, oh cool, I just don't have to worry about killing your unit now. Like, yay.
Right.
Like, it is cool the thing that it can do is catch people off guard by, you're like, oh, I locked down that unit because you can blow it up before you move type of thing, so you could open up a charge that wasn't there. But that's so situational, right? Like, sometimes you get lucky, but most of the time you don't. Like, these are Masters level players. They're going to prepare for that. They're going to make sure that they don't get caught out.
Right.
The one thing that might catch them out is that it's Rack and Slaves, and they'll have never faced against it.
What does this do again?
Yeah,
what does that do? Me again? Oh, I forgot that it did that.
Right.
Yeah.
But
do you guys think? And I'm curious. We all know fourth is on the horizon. We don't know when. But do you think there's any sort of like going into this Masters, a thinking in players of, I'm not going to try to reinvent the wheel. Who knows what fourth is bringing? Who knows what's going to come or whatever? But I'm going to take something that I have reps with that I think is good. That's maybe. Do you think maybe we have some players leaning towards? I want to take what's fun. I have yet to see any sort of like super spammy or I mean, am I in left field? Am I drinking the crazy sauce wine, or what do you think?
I'm just gonna say that RC did a pretty decent job these last 2 years. I don't know, trying to make some of these lists a little bit less taking 8 of the same thing. Don't know. Didn't do great on all these, because obviously we're going to see at least one, I'm pretty sure. But,
right.
Yeah. I actually think, to a degree, that we have, excluding Doors, I think Doors are actually at the spot that Ogres were last year. It's not quite as bad. There's at least a little bit of diversity, but and I think part of it is that it's key things like Faber and Golok, but but excluding Doors, like you see that Ogres have very clearly started to break up a little bit. There's still the triple Warlocks and Nom, but like at least the Siege Breaker part is finally starting to drift a little bit away from just Siege Breakers. So anyway,
Good point. Okay, let's roll right into table number 17. We got Devlin Smith from the Southeast versus Danny is what we call him, Johnson from the West. So let's take a look first at Devlin's. I still can't get over. Every time I look at a Devlin list, I'm still expecting to see Empire of Dust. But I know he is now Mr. I'm Devlin, and I play lots of different armies, and I'm good at the game now. So.
Wow. Is that how he sounds? It's been a long time.
Yeah, he's playing halflings. He's got a horde of stalwarts with the Heroes of Hodenberg upgrade, which is cool. 2 infantry regiments of poachers. One's got the fire oil. 2 edge grenadiers. 2 regiments of those guys. He's got Forest Troll horde with Chalice of Wrath. 2 Jugger Cav regiments with Relentless. One's got Meat of Madness, one's got Blood of the Old King.
Sure.
He's got 2 harvesters, a muster captain on a miniature Arelez with sure-footed captain and mournful blade, 2 sorcerers, and then 2 captain on winged Arelezes, both with Relentless. One has Blade of Slashing. And then we got Danny's list. Danny is playing Northern Alliance. He's got an Ice Naiad horde with spears and Hammer of Measured Force, 2 Pack Hunter regiments, 3 hordes of Frostclaw riders. He's got 3 regiments of Snow Foxes, a Frost Giant. He's got an Ice Queen with the Periscope, Hex, Wither, and Perish, a Frostclaw champion, and a legend, and Harem, the legendary Ice Giant. So 13 units and 25 unit strength, and Devlin's rocking 15 units and 25 unit strength.
Right.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yep. Devlin's been playing this list for a bit, and he's gotten good with it.
It's a cool list.
Yeah.
Once again, a bit of this, a bit of that, right?
Yep. The Juggers, I think, are the secret sauce these days. That those nimble, like, you look at it, it's like, oh, they're just knight regiments. And it's like, but they're nimble knight regiments that have access to potential Brutal 3. Like, it can get pretty spicy pretty fast.
Sure.
And the poachers are good shooting units. I do think Danny has the edge in shooting, having literally played Danny's list. I'm pretty sure this is the exact same one.
Mm-hmm. Did you guys play at Lone Wolf?
We played at Lone Wolf round 1, and then we played again at Bug Eater round 5. Ironically, with the exact same armies. I'm pretty sure. Wow. So I've definitely had experience against this list. I think, and I've played Devlin's at least once. I think Devlin has the edge on like experience by a smidge. That's my personal opinion. Especially these days, whether or not he wants to keep pretending he's casual. I just don't think that's true anymore.
Right.
But I do think Danny outranges him, and so it'll be a little bit of pressure to force the engage. I think Devlin's job is to push forward aggressively and force that engagement. I think he has the tools to negate the horde. I definitely talked to Danny after both of our games about things I think he could do a little better. He is playing the horde better each game I played him. So I think if he shoves that forward aggressively, takes board control, it's definitely a case where you don't want to. The problem with Frostcraw riders is that they're very flexible, but they're not Dracons. They can't get stuck in for multiple turns, period. So, like, if you hit and you don't kill, they're just dead. Like, they become a wet noodle. Like, they'll whack at you. They just don't do anything. So, you gotta time that pounce as best you can. Got to be careful to not let them flank around you. I think you play it patiently. I think you shoot. Definitely use, blast and yeah.
True.
But also use Hrim more aggressively here, I think, for sure. Hrim gets stuck in there, and just a lot of the stuff is not as big of a threat to Hrim unless it's getting in the flank. And even if it does, you're going to have to overcommit because it's Hrim. Right. And then that'll give you that chance to the pounce. This one I do think matters for all those drinking in the comments. This one will come down to terrain a little bit because terrain will definitely impact Danny a lot more than it will impact Devlin, I think.
Yeah, this is another cool army. Danny has a really nice, for as far as count says, he's got some great foxes and fly. I don't know. It's like what's the anime company that makes the movies with the floating castle?
Studio Ghibli.
Thank you. Yeah,
it's like it's Studio Ghibli army basically. Yep. But very cool. Danny's a good guy. He's like really nice at first, but I think sometimes secretly he's like, they found people like killed in his basement. I wouldn't be super surprised. No, I'm just kidding. Danny's a good guy. One of my local players. I gotta give him.
Oh, he's absolutely a great game.
Yeah, very good game. 100%. Okay, table 18. We have Nathan Arnold, who's now living in Colorado, I believe. So he's part of the Mountain. Versus John Green Jr. from the South. So let's take a look at these lists. So Nate. So Nathan is bringing Salamanders, a list he has a lot of experience with. He's got a Ceremonial Guard Horde with the Stangstone. He's got Corsairs with Fire Oil. 2 Tyrant Hordes. Rhinosaur Cav Horde with Boots of Striding. 3 Lacheladons. Mage Priest with Periscope, Fireball, and Mindfog. He's got a Battle Captain on a Rhinosaur. And he's got a Clan Lord on a Fire Drake with Sanguinary Scripture. And he's also got a Clan Lord on a Fire Drake with Pipes of Terror. Pipes of Terror.
Wow. What's your favorite card?
And he's playing John Green, who's bringing his Forces of Abyss, which is 3 regiments of Lower Abyssals, 2 Moloch Hordes with Despoiler Champions. One's got Strider, one's got Fire Oil. 3 Tortured Soul regiments. Zuzuzu. He's got 2 Archfiends of the Abyss. One's got Mead of Madness. One's got Brew of Haste. And then he's got the Lord of Lies. So both these players are rocking 12 units. Nathan's got 23 unit strength. And Mr. Green's got 28 unit strength.
Man, I feel like John was like sitting next to Blake Robertson in high school and like looked over his shoulder to steal the answers to the test, but Blake had it wrong, and so now they're both wrong because there's no berserkers in either of their lists, right? But once again, like, I have no idea what I'm doing, so take that for what it's worth.
I am 90% sure this is what John was running at Clash of Kings, the actual event last year. This looks very similar, if it maybe with small adjustments. It's an extremely well painted army, as one would expect from John Green.
Great, great hobbyist.
Yep. He is pretty darn good with it. I haven't gotten to play him with it yet, but I know John. I know John's a good player in general, and I know he did fairly well at Clash with it. And I like the Salamander list, and then this is, of course, where I enunciate the but. Where are the Ember sprites, Nathan? Where's the it's as you do with the 2 Tyrant Hordes, but there's supposed to be 2 Ember sprite regiments to walk them in. And I feel like those are conspicuously missing. Which I think that's the Corsair swap, and I feel like that might just be a Nathan preference thing. But everything else I like Ceremonial Guard Horde is just another one of these Phalanx hordes, and it's a defense 5-1 with crushing, so it's pretty good.
Yeah.
And it's going to have a wider footprint, which I'd argue is actually better for Phalanx hordes because you want things to hit you, so like you don't care about getting charged. You just want bigger footprint to force things to charge you. And Tyrants are still really, really good. So, yeah.
Nice.
Total.
I think John wants to close the distance pretty quickly because he's definitely getting shot, but he definitely has tools that will do that, even without Berserkers. So,
yeah, when I look at an Abyss list like this, I always think about, like, you got to deliver the Molochs, right? They're just such big base periods. Do you think, since we're fighting over these stockpile tokens as opposed to maybe more spreading out, does that make it a little bit more challenging to try to get those monstrous infantry hordes where he wants them to be? We all know John is an amazing player. Do you think the scenario is going to affect this matchup at all?
I think Nathan gets the slight scenario edge because I think, and it's tricky to say that John has pieces that are clearly designed to hold tokens. Those lower abyssals, their singular purpose is like
that's their job.
Yeah, they're there to hold tokens or get in the way and prevent double charges. Like they're the token chaff unit, pun intended. But I don't think Molochs are bad, even though they've got the larger base size. Like they are still gonna hit things. They're still gonna hurt things. They're still potentially gonna pop those tyrants in one turn if they touch them. They'll hurt the rhinosaurs pretty badly if they touch them.
Sure will.
So it's I think Molochs are still really good. I think the base size has always been you can't get the multi-charge, but I don't think you need to all the time. And he does have, I think, the right tools to get the multi-charges where he needs them. Like he's got Tortured Souls. You don't have to throw 2 Moloch hordes into one thing. You throw a Moloch horde and then, squeeze in some Zuzuzu help. Or the Lord of Lies, or one of those Titans. He's got Triple Dragon, right? Like, so he's got some speed on his side.
Yes, absolutely.
And the Clan Lords on Fire Drakes are cool, but they hit on 4s and don't have Pathfinder, like all dragons. So it's one of those things where, like, I think the Archfiends just beat the Clan Lords in a straight-up fight. And it's really going to come down to, I think, Nathan's shooting. Nathan's going to try to force the issue with the shooting. That puts a clock on John to engage. John does have some pretty good durability, right? There's a little bit of region, a little bit not. But yeah, I think I think this would be a good match. Good fun game.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah. Both great dudes, good players. Yeah, going to be a good one. Let's move on to table number 19, which this has some really creative, hilarious lists. So let's take a look at the lists in this one. So we'll start with Tim Lonis first in the Free Boys. Tim Lonis, he's taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Dwarf Shieldbreaker regiments with throwing mastiffs. And then he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 troops of Ironclad with throwing mastiffs. And then he's got 3 Free Dwarf Pack Masters. One's got the Periscope. One's got Fire Oil. One's got Mastiff Munchberries. And then he's got 3 Free Dwarf Army Standards. One's got a Diadem of Dragonkind. One's got the Loot of Insatiable Darkness. And one's got Boomstick.
Yep.
So 21 drops, 29 unit strength. I love it. Let's take a look at George O'Connell's list. George is bringing Force of the Abyss, and he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 regiments of berserkers, all with sacrificial imps, and then he's got 1, 2, 3, 4 hordes of berserkers with sacrificial imps, and one's got brew of sharpness, one's got brew of strength, one's got blessing of the gods, and one's got Sir Jesse's boots. And then he's got 2 berserker apostates. One's got Bane Chant, and then he's got Zuzuzu the Betrayer with a spellcaster, Bane Chant 2 and Lightning Bolt 4, and his all the special stuff that comes with him. 12 drops, 25 unit strength.
Yeah. So we were, I was going to say chat's having a time. 7 different unit types on the table. It's like we had such a good run of these nice all-comers, like a little bit of everything, 2 of each unit type, and then we finally hit it. We finally found the spam.
We did. We made it.
So, yeah. Here's why, now between... the irony here is that now between... It's just really Ray Shields and George here pumping up the Abyssal numbers to the league. Where they got to the top 3 units, I think. And then I was a little surprised when you were reading off the top units to not see the shield breakers specifically just inflated by Tim's list. Weirdly enough, I think Tim has the advantage. That's it's
a wild matchup, man. It's just wild.
Because I think the problem with those berserkers is the regiments are not going to kill a lot of the stuff on their own. And the hordes will maybe kill stuff depending on terrain. And the dwarves are either going to hit back and hurt the abyssals quite badly. And if it's not through just punching them, because all of those regiments are not bad, right? Like if you go look at those dwarf regiments, they're 12 attacks on 3s with crushing 2s? They're going to be 3s and 2s across the board.
Yeah, it's legit.
And all of those dogs are going to be vicious, and there's a lot of them. Like, this list alone is why I actually think dogs might be a problem. So, they were always pretty good, but this is starting to stretch. This is trying to create Travis Tim's death box, but with dwarves.
Yeah. Man.
And for good measure, he has a fire. All the dwarf army standards have spells.
Yes, because if you're going to lean in, and everybody has to. Yeah, right. So, I there is no denying that this list is intensely effective, right?
Yeah.
I would never want to play this twice. And to be honest, I would play it once just to see, and I'd be like, well, I'm out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the same with George's list. I would never want to play that twice. Man, I hate spam.
Yeah.
I hate it. And I don't know. I understand what they're trying to do. I get it. George is in taking all of the same unit. Yes, he did not take the gnome glass, the Seductress and gnome glass shield. A couple other things he didn't take, but in exchange, he's like, took this.
Yep.
Right. Once again, no denying it's really good. I think he's going to wreck house. And somewhere in the top third.
Right. I would have liked to have seen, to squeeze in that Nagari unit to get that region boost, given that you're already committing to that, right? But yeah, I mean, we'll see. He's got a mission. It's Alpha Strike. It's pick and choose. It's going to come down to, Jeremy said it, one of the many matchups before this with Alpha Strike is, if you get the right combats and call your timing right, he'll be good. I will say that Tim's list is an exceptionally difficult list to find that timing for.
Agreed.
And
it's like, sometimes it's like, what do you even charge? It's like, what do I even find?
He's going to be looking if Tim's playing it right, he's going to be stuck charging those troops. He's just not going to get an option.
That's what I'm saying. It's just so much useless things to fight.
And he'll be happy if he can kill those troops, which because they're still defense 5, right? Like they're defense 5, 10, 12, which doesn't sound like a lot, right? But like those regiments have what, 15 attacks on 4s? So you're gonna hit 15 times, crushing 1. Like you probably don't kill them, or it'll be close. Like there's a chance you don't, and that's really bad, right? Like you don't want to get stuck. And especially if they're in, like, if Tim has any, if their table, this is one where terrain could just royally screw George. Is if there's like big forests and Tim can just park in them, I think George is in trouble.
Yeah, right.
But
I bet they'll have a fun game. This is going to be an interesting one.
This would be another fun one to watch.
Yeah, this is definitely up there in the possible streams. This is a cool one for sure. Yeah. Okay, let's move on to table 20. We're more than halfway on the home stretch here. We got Alan Beener, Mid-Atlantic, who's playing Sean Polka, former Paragon from the West. So let's take a look at these lists.
Yeah, let's take a look at these lists.
Yeah, let's start with Beener first. So he's bringing Twilight Kin. I know he's been playing Twilight Kin a lot, having some success with this list. He's got. Oh, now we've reached the spam portion of
this was the other one
of the 7-course dinner. We've reached the spam course. He's got 2 troops of phantoms. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 regiments of Void Wranglers, which is interesting. He's got 3 Soul Flayers, 1 with Old King, Blood of the Old King, 1 with Helm of the Drunken Ram, and 1 with Sir Jesse's Boots. He's got 3 Crones. First one's got Amulet of the Fireheart and Enthrall and Alchemist Curse. Next one has Enthrall and Blood Boil. The last one is coming with the Zephyr Crown, Windblast 8. And then rounding that off is Her Majesty herself, Lathael Bleakheart. So 16 drops, 22 unit strength. Sean Polka is taking his absolute beautiful, all oil painted Forces of Nature list. This is definitely an army to go take a look at while you're there. Real beautiful army. He's got 2 regiments of Hunters of the Wild. He has got 3 hordes of Forest Shamblers. He has got 2 greater air elementals, 2 beasts of nature with increased attacks to 7.
But no wings.
Yes. He's got Karis, Glaidewalker Druid on a mount with Ring of Harmony, Gnome Glass Shield, Heal, and Surge. He's got Kapoka and taking a Wiltfather Tree Herder. So 13 drops, 20 unit strength from Sean.
Sure.
I'm just pointing this out because it's an interesting aspect of his list. The Gnome Glass Shield on the Druid specifically is a very interesting tech choice because, like, that implies to me that he sees a lot of duelist, I guess, or maybe just counter shooting that's like specifically picking that piece off when he got tired. Like I'm thinking why I would take that item on that character, and it is specifically because I lose that character too much. So like, he's either getting shot off the table or he's getting duelist, which is interesting. Definitely will discourage people from trying to charge that character. And this is pretty standard Forces of Nature for the most part. And then on the flip side of this it
is a highly specialized Twilight Kin list that revolves around.
It's a push and pull.
Lots of it.
Yeah.
Right. And a bunch of shooting off the Void Wranglers, right?
We saw this with Night Stalkers in the 2024 mid-season with the Ravagers initially. I think a lot of people tried to do that, and then they discovered that it could win some matches, and it definitely caught some people off guard, but it wasn't like it was a win 3 or 4 games and lose 1, so you couldn't go the whole way type of deal. And this is the next version of that. I don't think this is the only one we're going to see. I'm like 99% certain. And it is pretty surprising to me that I think Void Wranglers might have been a case where like they were already fine, and then it was just a case of everything else being just a little like if here's the line and like Twilight Kin was just a little bit above the line, we brought the line down, but we thought that this was actually down here, and we brought this up when actually what happened is we did this, and so like it's a case where I think maybe they didn't need the change in hindsight, and they were actually fine, but we'll see. I have seen this list not go all the way though consistently, so I do think it's pretty mean to Polka, but we'll see.
Yeah, I really like the. I would hate to play against this list because I would feel pretty powerless, to be honest. Right? I think I would move into the wrong spot, and then Alan would just throw dice, and my dudes would move around during his turn, and they'd be dead. I really like Sean's list because of the Kapoka with the 3 hordes and the Willfather, right? So he's essentially going to say this part of the table is where I'm going to fight.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't know. I just don't know.
I
mean, he's going to try to be in the spot, and Alan's going to be like, no, you're over here now. You know what I mean?
The one kind of saving grace for Sean, I think, is that he can only push and pull twice a turn, right? He's got 2 Enthrall, he got 2 Wind Blast. Or actually, no, sorry, I lied. He does have more Wind Blast. He's got Soul Flares behind that. But he can only pull 2 things, right? So you can try to play around that. The honest truth for me is when you play against this and it's rough, but like at least every time I've seen it, is what happens is you get mentally locked. What happens is you're like, I don't know how to deal with this, and you just kind of shut down and don't do anything, which is the worst possible thing you can do, because it's a shooting list and you will just die if you sit there. I think it's kind of like elves. You just he's gonna hit stuff and it's gonna die, and you just have to eat it and go. You just have to get into combat. Once you're punching those things, they're not as bad. They're still painful, but like they're still only defense 4. They're still only like I think they're 14-16 on the top for the Wranglers. It could be off. But like, yeah, 14-16. So yeah. And he doesn't have Corsair rallying, so they're only 14-16. Get in there and punch him.
Right. Start throwing fists.
Yeah. Can't shoot you if he's engaged. You'll have to fight, which is the same thing anyway, but like at least you're hitting him.
Right.
Yeah, this should be interesting. 2 great players. Sean is one of the better players out here in the West, and he's had a lot of experience with that Forces of Nature list. I think this is going to come down to really like whenever you play against Soul Flayers and you miss that little bit of a back of a flank, and they can do that cross flank charge, or like I always found like if he gets value from the Soul Flayers on that really tough stuff that Sean wants to be fighting front to front, you know. That's going to be a really interesting dynamic. Is there's going to be a lot of really subtle, elegant maneuvering around this.
Right.
So, I think it should be an interesting scenario. Cool. Okay, so let's move on to number table 21. We have Adam Ballard from the Mountain playing Blake Norton from the Pacific Northwest. So Adam Ballard, former U.S. Master. Really top player. He lets me lose to him on UB on a regular basis, which I appreciate. You know, he is bringing Night Stalkers. He's got a regiment of Scarecrows and 3 hordes of Scarecrows, 3 troops of Tormentors. He's got 3 regiments of Soul Flayers, 1 with Jesse's Boots, Blood of the Old King, and Helm of the Drunken Ram. 2 of the offensive Mind Screeches. He's got a Portal of Despair, 2 Butcher Flesh Rippers, and 2 Dread Fiends, 1 with the Trickster's Wand. So he's playing against Blake Norton, the Dry Brush Enjoyer, which I thought was an awesome name for an army. He's bringing Salamanders, so he's got a regiment of Ancients. He's got 2 hordes of Ceremonial Guard. He's got a Tyrant's horde with Brew of Sharpness, 2 Scorchwing regiments, a Rhinosaur Cav horde, 3 Ember Sprite Swarms, an Ancient Phoenix, a Mage Priest with Bane Chant, and 2 Battle Captains on Rhinosaurs, one with Inspiring Talisman and one with Blade of Slashing.
Adam's list is really efficient and redundant and is great. And that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah.
Right.
I've played, I think, 4 different people who were playing Adam's list that weren't Adam. And
Sure.
every one of those games was like, one of them was literally, if this person was at the skill level of Adam, I have no right to like be anywhere in this game. And then the second time I played someone with it, I just got completely curb stomped. Which I'm like, yeah, it works really well. It does exactly what it wants to do, which is Tormentors and Soul Flayers go behind the Scarecrows. And it turns out you got to get through there somewhere. So unless you got more drops, but 17 drops is a lot of drops. So you're probably not getting, around the flank without punching through Scarecrows. And if you're punching Scarecrows, you got to overcommit. And if you overcommit, you're going to get punished. And the punish is rough. So it's got just enough shooting to kind of poke out where it needs to. It's got plenty of Wind Blast to also kind of make it more difficult to try to play range games. And also force good scenario play, turns, 7, push shit off objectives. It's quite good. I do think Salamanders aren't a bad army here. I do like Ember Sprites to potentially, he's got a decent chunk of shooting between the Scorchwings, the Ember Sprites, the Phoenix. And I think if he could potentially this is one of those cases where I'm like, everything always hits on 6s, right? So just ignore the Scarecrows and try to pick up, the Soul Flayers or something. Yeah, they're going to be stealthy. Yeah, they're going to have cover, but if you get, those are the things that are going to kill you, right? The Scarecrows won't do anything. That is the one upside of there, right? They just hit on 5s. They got no crushing. Everything else kills you. So kill the Soul Flayers, kill the Tormentors. Those are also exceptionally susceptible to blink shooting. If you can get them though, right? Yeah, they're good, but if you can blink shots, that's how you can negate that.
Right.
So, and Scorchwings do have the height to do that. So it's not impossible, but it would be very hard for me not to give the edge to my good friend and, former master and just generally good player. And he's going to shamelessly plug his YouTube channel in the comments. Yeah. But I give the edge to Adam here.
Thank you, buddy.
And I don't know Blake. I'm not sure if he's a newer player or I don't recognize that name from Masters, but what a better opportunity to break Masters in playing someone of such a high level. And I'm going to say something nice about Adam. What I love most about him is how gracious and humble he is, in that he will play, you want to work out a list, he'll play with you, he'll crush you and be so nice about it, and just a great player and a really fine human being. So if this is Blake's first Masters, which I think it is, you got a really great opportunity to play one of the best in the country, and have that experience. So, and just do as Tom says, just don't get flanked. Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you play the game. Just don't die, bro.
Checks out.
Okay, let's go on the table 22. We got Chet Dudick from Mid-Atlantic versus Aaron Chapman from the South. So let's take a look at these lists. Okay, so for Chet, he's playing Kingdoms of Men. He's got a Shield Wall regiment, 2 Spear Phalanx regiments with pikes. He's got a Cav regiment of knights with Blood of the Old King, 3 Beast Cavalry hordes, all with Fly and Speed 10, Thunderous Charge and Vicious, and Indomitable Will. One's got Striding Boots, one's got Helm of the Drunken Ram, and the other one has no item. He's got 3 Wizards, all on Pegasi, with Bane Chant. One's got Bane Chant. Again, that's interesting. Taking the Pegasus Wizards for 65 points with no spells, just as a flying piece. Interesting.
He's
got a hero.
Hyper efficient. It's a thing you should do.
Yeah, it
He's
makes
got a
sense.
hero on Pegasus. Yeah. 3 generals on Winged Beasts for 14 drops and 28 unit strength. Aaron's bringing Northern Alliance. He's got 2 hordes of ice naiads with tundra fighters and spears. One's got strength, one's got hammer and measured force. He's got a Frostfang Cav horde with tundra fighters and brew of sharpness. He's got 1, 2, 3 regiments of Frostclaw riders and 1 horde of Frostclaw riders with Sir Jesse's boots. He's got a Cavern Dweller, 2 Ice Queens. One's got Heal and Veil of Shadows. One's got Heal, Mind Fog, and Hex. And then he's got Harem. So 11 drops, 23 unit strength.
So I am a big fan of Chet's list. It has the right amount of punch. It has the right amount of sticky. And then he's got the 3 wizards, the hero. So he's got 4 pegs. And Pegasi are like the best piece in the game because they allow they're being high 4 and stuff. They get in the way. They lock down whatever the guy wants to do to counter the beast cav, and then the 3 generals on winged beast add just enough punch for things where you can't just send in a single beast cav. Well, I don't have to send in 2 because I got a buddy over here with 7 attacks and a big stick. So I don't know. I think that list is phenomenal.
Oh yeah,
in terms of efficiency, right?
Yeah, this is what, at least in my mind, I assumed more of the Kingdoms of Men players are going to lean into. But this is kind of the staple in my mind. It's sure. This is what has replaced Brother Lady. Like now you take the Beast Cav here. You've got the Spear Phalanxes as big anvils. You have the Generals on Winged Beasts. You have the Wizards on Pegasus replacing what used to be unicorns. It's a lot of that style, but just in a different list. And yeah, Aaron's list is a little changed from the last time I saw it. I like the Ice Naiad hordes because they're just giant bricks. The Frostclaw riders are mostly regiments as opposed to the big horde. He does have the 1 horde with the Jesse's boots, which does help a lot. I think that is the right unit to put that on. Not that he has anything else that needs the Strider, but
right.
Cavern Dwellers, I think, are still subtly good. They just sometimes get into wonky spots. Double Ice Queen, and then Harem is, Harem.
Does Harem things.
It's definitely an Aaron Chapman style of list. Like lots of big things that are going to hit you really hard and hurt you, and then some anvils to lock you down. And those anvils are really, really, really tough to break.
Sure.
Ensnare region, and Tundra Fighters to get Life Leech too, because they get an extra bonus. So yeah, this is just going to be a good straight up fight. We're back to non-spam lists. It's healthy again.
Yeah.
So yeah, Phalanx hordes are going to slap fight each other, but I think Aaron's are a little bit better there. You've both got flying Cav hordes, so this is going to get cagey. I do like the Pegasus Wizards in this fight.
Absolutely,
because that will help negate the Frost Claws at least for a turn. So yeah, I think this is just going to be a good old classic cagey fight.
Yeah, for sure. The Frost Claws, I worry. There's a lot of points in Frost Claws, but we haven't seen we haven't seen a lot of longer range shooting lists.
Yeah.
So maybe they can survive in the meta that we're going to have this Masters. But yeah, both great players, so this should be a great matchup.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's move on to table number 23. We have Justin May from the South versus Chris Finnegan from the West. So I will take you guys through these lists. So Justin is bringing halflings. He's got a stalwart horde with Heroes of Herdenberg with Hammer of Measured Force, 3 poacher regiments, 2 edge grenadiers, 2 jugger hordes, 2 aeronaut regiments, one with Blade of Slashing. He's got an Iron Beast as Pride of the Shires. He's got a muster captain on a mini Aralez, sure-footed captain and Beast of the Blade of the Beastlayer, and a sorcerer. So 13 drops, 28 unit strength. Chris Finnegan's bringing elves. He's got a Palace Guard horde with Hammer of Measured Force. He's got Gladestalker, 2 regiments, one with Fire Oil. Got a horde of Therenian Sea Guard with Liliana's Tear. Silver Breeze Cav troop. He's got Draken Riders horde with Boots of Striding. 3 Archmages, one with Lightning Bolt Veil of Shadows, one with Lightning Bolt and Hex, and one with just Lightning Bolt. Argus Rodinar, and then he has got the formation with the 2 regiments of Drakons and the Drakon Lord, where the regiments get nimble and spell ward.
So remember when I said that Devlin's list having those 2 regiments of Juggers was really, 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 really good because Juggers have kind of like slid under the radar as shockingly good.
Right.
This is better. Like, this is actually disgustingly better. This is what I thought Radigan was going to take, but like add another 2 Jugger hordes.
Right.
It's just 4 hordes of nimble knights that have Strider. There were definitely some things that flew under my radar because I wasn't. Anyway, yeah, I know Justin pretty well. He's definitely gotten a lot more experience over the last couple of years. He used to be a big Night Stalker player. I think this list is actually, this is one of the rare times I would say this. I think this list is exceptionally well matched up against elves. Not only because everything is spellward, which Chris has leaned into with the Archmages, but also just because Dragons are going to struggle against the Jugger hordes. They're going to struggle to get good charges because he's got more drops.
Yeah.
Or more fighting drops, I should clarify. He technically has a similar amount of drops, but the Archmages aren't going to be getting... They're not combat pieces. They're not,
Right. But why the Hammer of Measured Force on the Palace Guard horde?
He didn't take Crushing, right? So they're defense 5. Yeah. So, we made that. In fairness, that change was kind of subtle. We made that back in 24. They used to have 2 different units. One was like a defense 5 that hit on 3s, but didn't have Crushing. So we merged them together and did the Crushing swap.
Okay. It's cool.
So yeah, so it's their defense 5. They hit on 3s, but they don't have any innate Crushing, and he puts Hammer Measure Force. That makes perfect sense to me. Should be. It's pretty good. Yeah. But like everything else is pretty standard. Like that is kind of the one standout, like other than the triple Archmage being kind of old school. It's still 2 Gladestalkers. It's still the Drakon formation.
Right.
And I think halflings want to fight that here.
I think so too. It's an interesting. I like both the lists because they are both well rounded.
Yeah.
Right. There's enough movement, especially with the Juggers with the nimble. Right.
Yeah.
It's enough movement on both sides, and there's just enough pieces. Right. And once again, different types of threats. It's cool. They're both cool lists.
Yeah.
Right.
No, and I think these are 2, I think, fitting outside of a couple outliers. What we've seen so far in these first 20 some odd tables, right, is a lot of really just interesting, cool lists.
Yeah.
Right.
And these 2, to me, feel that way. And a shout out to Chris. He is a great woodworker. So he has donated some custom wood dice trays with the Masters logo laser cut in them. So check those out on the raffle table. So a couple of cool, great prize support items donated by Chris as a local Reno guy. So thank you to Chris. But should be a great matchup.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, table 24. We have Philip Jordan Cox from the Midwest facing off against Justin Robbins in the South.
Philip used to play at the South.
Let's take a look at these lists. We got okay. Okay, we have League of Rordia, For Philip. Yeah. He's playing. Okay. Yeah. Just want to make sure you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. Okay. He's got 3 regiments of Halfling Braves. He's got the Dogs of War Infantry Horde, Beasts of Targon Spire, Brew of Sharpness. He's got one that's the Razors Berlon Vice with Hammer of Measured Force. That one's he's got Indomitable Will on. We got a Cav Horde of Knights with Indomitable Will and Brew of Strength, as you do. 2 Mounted Scout regiments with the Black Powder weapons. A Battle Shrine. Army Standard Bearer with Loot. Wizard on a Pegasus with Conjurer Staff, Bane Chant, and Alchemist Curse. 2 Barons on Aralezes. And Duke Hetrenberg. So 14 units, 27 unit strength. And then he's playing Justin Robbins, who is playing Ogres. He's got 3 regiments of Ogre Warriors, 2 legions of Ogre Warriors. He's got the Boomer Chariot Troop. He's got 2 Giants. He's got a Sergeant with Heavy Crossbow and Paymaster upgrade. 3 Warlocks, all with Lightning Bolt, 2 with Drain Life, and Namagarok. 13 units and 24 unit strength.
Yep. This is Justin moving away from the Siegebreakers, which makes sense, but still sticking with the core Warlock battery, sliding in some Giants, which helps against the defense 6 he's gonna encounter. I haven't seen Philip play in a minute, because as I kind of alluded, he used to play in the South, and then he moved to where he is now. And I obviously haven't played him since he was in the South, and that's been a couple of years. Just a few. And I do, as far as Dogs of War lists, it's cool to see, we talk about cool lists and cool decisions. It is cool to see a second Dog of War horde. I'm used to seeing the Phalanx one. I'm not used to seeing, it looks like it's Crushing Strength and Fury. Which that's awesome.
With sharpness.
Yeah, with sharpness. Right. So it's going to be 3s, crushing, and chunky. And Pathfinder. So it goes in a forest and sticks there.
Right.
Knights, Cav Horde, still, Knight Hordes are good, as we've been saying. Still a thing. Mounted Scouts are cool. Battle Shrine is, if you're going to play Rordia, you should take the Battle Shrine.
You totally should, yes.
It's kind of hard to argue against it. I think we gave the Duke an ever so slight buff this last clash. It was very subtle. It was I think we gave him either 1 or 2 extra attacks. But it just puts him on the same power level as similar units. So I like the Duke. I don't dislike Rordia as a list. But I do think that Justin has a pretty strong showing as a player. He's kind of like Travis Tim. He's done really well in a lot of events and squeezed. He's been runner up or lost to the person who won the whole thing, usually by a hair.
Right.
Several times. So I would not be surprised to see Justin walk away with this one. But at least on the Mitch,
I want to say, did he play Ed in the final table of last year's Masters?
Nope, that was distinctly Kyle Poole, and Kyle lost because he wasn't paying attention, and I'll call him out on stream again. So
wow,
I think Justin was sort of in the. Was he in the run?
He was. He was up there.
He had done well. Right? He was up last year.
Pretty sure he was. Pretty sure he was in the top 5 going in late. But yeah, I would give him the edge at least on paper, but I also don't know where Philip is currently. Again, that's not anything against Philip. I just haven't played him, and so I don't know how much practice he's had or where he's at. But 1, it'll be really good to see him again because it's been a minute. And 2, it's a cool list.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, cool. Well, let's go on to table number 25. We have the other McClure brother from Pacific Northwest, Ben, and he's playing against Keith Marnock from the Southeast. So let's take a look at Ben's list first. He's got abyssal dwarves.
Wow.
He's got a horde of black souls with fiery bulwark and Aegis of the Elohi. 2 regiments of immortal guard with mastiffs and infernal warriors. 2 gargoyle troops. 2 regiments of half breeds. A horde of grotesques.
Should.
2 hunting packs with throwing mastiffs. Dogs throwing dogs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ironcaster with Conjurer Staff and Fireball, Hexcaster with Inspiring Talisman, Infernox with the Ironmonger Warlord, the Abyssal Half-Breed Champion, and Abyssal Grotesque Champion.
Yeah.
So 15 units, 25 unit strength.
Yep. And so just to call out the Black Souls, the Horde of Black Souls with the combination of stuff have Iron Resolve D3+1.
Yep.
Is pretty good. And then
that is
fixed it to make it work.
Yeah, right. And the Infernox is handing out the elite aura for melee infantry. Right.
Gotcha.
So he's going to be hanging out with the Black Souls and the Immortal Guard and helping them punch people in the face.
So I think it's a very cool Abyssal Dwarf list. And then here's
another.
Yeah, we got a dwarf on dwarf violence. I love it.
That's right.
We got Keith Monarch also playing Abyssal Dwarves. He's got 2 troops of Black Souls, a regiment of Black Souls, a Decimator Horde with Fire Oil, Gargoyle Troop, Half-Breed Regiment with Blessing of the Gods, which is nice, 2 Abyssal Grotesque Hordes, 3 rocket launchers. Oh, so we've seen rocket launchers, triple rocket launchers we saw in the Ratkin Slaves list too, I think.
Yep.
Ironcaster with Diadem of Dragonkind, so Fireball 18.
Yeah.
Which seems good. Hexcaster with Periscope, Hex Weakness. One's got Inspiring Talisman, Hex Weakness. Third one with Hex Weakness, so don't try to cast spells against this list, I guess. And then he's got a Supreme Ironcaster and a Great Wing and Half-Breed with Conjurer Staff, Fireball, Heal. What is the Half-Breed affinity do?
So it's the Ogre ability. It's the Warlock ability, but for Grotesques and Half-Breeds.
It pumps up his spells, right?
Up to a cap of 3. Yeah. It's the Warlock. We were looking at eventually combining all those rules into one special rule and like finding a way to generically name it, but it's the same concept as the Orc one. It's the same concept as the Ogre one. It's the +3 for having certain units nearby. Definitely makes it a good caster. I was looking at the first list, like, oh, no one took the Supreme Ironcaster, the longest name in the game for the record. Supreme Ironcaster had a Great Wing and Half-Breed. And then we get to this, like, there it is. Because it received a massive workover. That said, I think I like Ben's list just a smidge more. They're both really close. I like the Immortal Guard, especially with the upgrade. The upgrade's pretty good. I really like the Grotesque Champion. Those things they've also gotten a pretty big overhaul. They used to be a lot closer to the Half-Breed Champion. Now they're more like on the Chariot level as opposed to the Thane level, so to speak. So that thing is really, really beefy. They are both running a lot of Half-Breeds and a lot of Grotesques, though. So they are both going to slam into each other, and they're going to punch each other with Vicious and a lot of crushing built in. And if something doesn't die, it will regen, but probably not enough to survive whatever hits it after that.
Right.
In which case, I guess I give the... dang. But there's also a Decimator Horde in the second list and a lot of artillery. Damn, this is going to be interesting.
Well, that's the difference, right? He's playing against an army that is going to want to, quote unquote, close the distance. But I don't know. He's got a couple things that could do it, but he's relying on that infantry line to do some work.
Yeah. Garrett's calling me out about the triple war machine on the other one, too. Those rocket launchers are good.
Right. And then the triple Hexcaster is going to make it so when they do run in there and finally start swinging, they're going to do F-all. It's not going to matter.
Yeah. It's also worth noting that these guys, I think, still get piercing on their weakness things. So they do what the Twilightkin ones used to do, but with slightly less dice and also not quite as efficient because they don't have inspiring, so you have to find other characters to do that.
Right.
But it still hurts, as everyone knows, and its weakness. So those grotesques are going to be pretty functionally defense 6 for a lot of units.
Right.
Oh, maybe I take that back. Maybe I like Keith's better. It's pretty close. I like them both. I mostly like that they're different from what I've seen from Abyssal Doors for a little bit, and that they're at least taking a little bit of everything. Like they are generally, again, we see in the all-comers list, nothing quite spammy.
Right.
So that makes me happy on a personal level. If I had to pick one, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. It's going to be pretty cool. I think the key there is going to be the 3 weakness casters.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's really going to swing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That feels like the wild card, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is good utilization of that spell at the right moment, at the right time, making sure you hit with it,
Yeah.
Right.
Is going to be
cool.
Okay, let's go on to table number 26. We got Joe Borghese from the Mid-Atlantic versus probably the nicest guy in Kings of War, Mr. Chris Murphy from the Northeast.
True.
So just such a gentleman. If you have not had the pleasure to play Chris, you are missing out. So let's take a look at Joe's dwarves. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 regiments of Iron Guard with Mastiffs. Has a massive hunting pack. 2 steel behemoths with Golok's Fury. He's also taking Garrick Heavy Hand, Faber, and 2 Dwarf Lords on Large Beasts.
Yeah.
So 13 drops, 25 unit strength. He's playing against Chris Murphy's Kermit's Revenge. Ooh, a Trident Realm army. So this usually I've always seen Chris play his
Visalia
list.
Yeah.
So this is new, or new for me to see this year. So that's cool. He's got a River Guard regiment. He's got River Guard Dam Busters. He's got 3 hordes. Looks like they all got Poison Frogs. One's got Brew of Sharpness, Blessing of Gods, and Blood of the Old King. He's got 2 Coral Giants. He's got a Siren with Enthrall, Weakness, Mind Fog, and Hex. He's got a Trident King with the Dam Buster upgrade, a River Guard Dam Buster Sentinel, and then the River Guard formation with the troops and the River Guard Dam Buster giving stealthy.
Right.
12 drops, 22 unit strength.
It's cool. The stealthy will help. Right.
Yep. And he took the rally on the king. Yep. So that tracks for me.
Right.
Makes Dam Busters playable, that's for sure.
Sure.
On the flip side, I've seen Joe play this exact list, I think, last year. I don't think it's changed almost at all.
Yeah.
Specifically against you, Mike. I think it was you playing Joe first round last year.
Yeah.
Or not last year. That was Omaha.
Year before.
Yeah. But at some point, I've definitely seen this list, and it has not changed.
Mm-hmm.
It's still a lot of defense 6. I like this one. We saw the 3 Dwarfs on Large Beasts and the 3 Steel Behemoths, and then this, and I like this one better because it has more drops.
Me too.
So it doesn't have quite as many problems. But
right.
Yeah, and instead of adding the extra Juggers and Faber, he just goes straight to Faber, right?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you? Faber's insane.
Yeah.
And Garrick, I think Garrick is so good too. I'm with you, Mike. I think he is just so good.
In this list, he's great.
Yeah.
In other stuff, I don't think he's. Yeah. Anyway, this is funny because I take a look and it's Chris has got 1, 2, 3, 4. He's got 4 units that can make Iron Guard sad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, like, the Dam Busters will go in and they're going to make a mess, and then the Iron Guard are going to attack back and they're going to do 2 wounds, and then the Dam Busters are going to attack and they're going to pick up the unit, and then it's just a question of if Chris can if he can deliver the Dam Busters into the right Iron Guard units, right for the scenario, then he'll grind out and he'll be able to own a piece of the table. The problem is going to be, it's not the Iron Guard that Joe's going to use to do much, right? Joe uses the Iron Guard for the scenario, and then all the toys run around and just, cause problems.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. I don't think Chris wants to get stuck in a grind. I don't think either of these lists wants to want to get stuck in a grind, but I do give. I think, Siren's interesting here. Siren does open up some things with Enthrall and weakness specifically, because that gives you a couple situations where you might be able to do something like just ignore an Iron Guard regiment and like concentrate on something else, weakness it, and it's like, oh, you got a flank. Well, you wound me on 7s. So
yeah, nobody cares. Thanks a bunch, right?
Right, or wound me on 6s.
Is this super new?
Yeah.
Right.
Is this super new for Chris or Rossi, or has he played this at a few Northeast events, or do you know anything about?
Yeah, he's been playing this all this year, so
okay.
he's got reps with it. He's pretty good with it. He knows what he's doing.
Okay.
This isn't like, I finally got this painted 3 weeks beforehand, and now I can't wait to test drive it. So he'll know what he's doing. The interesting thing with this matchup around Stockpile is, again, Imperial Dwarves have no problem moving Iron Guard up to sit on top of a stockpile and start, scoring. But man, if Joe goes second, then Chris is going to be able to dictate at least on 2/3 of the table, right? If he's smart, he's going to take a look at 2 of those stockpiles. He's going to run up and he's going to start scoring right away. And if he can get them and pick them up and then push them to the back line, Joe is just going to watch the game run away from him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he won't have anything to reach out and touch, Yeah,
I mean, he's still got some shooting, right? He's still got it's still 6 throwing Bastos, right? And then still got Faber, still got Golok. But it's definitely like I do think Chris has the mobility edge if it comes down to that.
That's right. But
Okay. Let's move on to table number 27 on the home stretch here. Just a few more tables to go through. We have Michael Ziegler from Mountain versus Ryan Munsell in the Pacific Northwest. So Michael is bringing Brooding on Your Mother, Ratkin. He's got three hordes of shock troops, all with plague pots, all with heavy halberds. One's got Brew of Strength. One's got Boots of Striding. He's got 3 claw shot troops. He's got a Vermintide, got Tunnel Runners with Sharpness, 3 weapon teams, which are called Despite All My Rage. I love it. And then the Tango, which is I'm Just a Rat in the Cage. Yes, thank you. I appreciate that. He's got a Brood Enforcer, 2 Brood Mothers. One's got the Blight Staff. One's replacing Drain Life. Replace Drain Life. Both got Blight Staffs. And then one bought it extra along with the Drain Life. Okay, and then Mother Kryza, 16 drops, 24 unit strength. And then Ryan's bringing another really awesome army, his free dwarves that are all painted, inspired by Redwall.
I love this.
So they're all, so gorgeous. All mice and cool forest critters and creatures.
Yeah.
Definitely when you're there, this is an army to go check out. He's got 2 free dwarf ranger regiments, one upgraded to Hernius's handpick rangers.
Yep.
2 ironclad regiments with throwing mastiffs, a greater earth elemental, the Kragoth and Kolarm. He's got Hernius the hunter, 2 dwarf lords on large beasts, one with a trickster's wand, 2 Stoneclaw champions, and then he's got the formation of Eric's mallets, which is the shield breaker regiments with throwing mastiffs, and the dwarf lord, who he's given the Lord's Jewel and Wings of the Honey Maze.
Right.
It's definitely different than the last free dwarf list.
Sure is.
Yeah.
I'm also a huge Redwall fan, so definitely a cool army. Yeah, I do like it. It's interesting. And Ryan is a good player. So
I have played against Kragoth, and boy howdy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's the scout.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just whoop, deal with this. Right?
Yep. And dealing with that as a defense 6 fearless, dash, chonk. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's like trying to kill Shobik. People know the pain. So, and if Shobik could scout, right? Like,
right.
And he's just up there in your face, and also not a huge
and a good piece for stockpile too.
exactly.
I think.
Like you could start picking up.
Yeah.
He can really force the. He could really push someone to have to charge him turn 1 if he wants. Just stick him right on top of a pile.
That's
right. Start picking up tokens. So, but
yep.
Yeah.
I like this list a lot. Just super cool. Right.
Yep.
Once again, the good mix of units. He's got some sticky. He's got some shooty.
Yep.
He's got some movement. It's pretty cool.
Sigler's list, I think, as much as I would not like to give him credit, I think this is one of the better Ratkin lists out there right now. The Tangle, I think, is almost a must-have in my mind. That my opinion has not changed since when we did the countercharge episode on Ratkin. Shock Troop Hordes, 3 of them with Phalanx, with Plague Pots, never leave home without. I think is really good. Claw shots are just the same thing as the dwarf ones, but cheaper and faster. So that means they actually get to do objective things, which is really good.
Exactly.
The Vermintide are one of the best chaff pieces for their points in the game. Like, there's so many things I love about this list in terms of like what it does. I would happily pilot this. I'm
a huge fan of 3-weapon teams.
Yep. Yeah, they're war trombones, but better. Like,
yeah, right.
They're defense 6. They can act as chaff. Like, or sorry, they're not defense 6. They're defense 5, but they can that is surprising, right? In a clutch moment, you can nimble them in front of something as chaff. And they're hard to plink off. You can't just rely on the cheap plink shooting to get rid of them.
Right.
So yeah, it's a really good list.
It plays in all phases of the game, right? Which is nice.
Yeah,
he's got shooting. He's got some elite. Michael's list. He's got some elite fighting, or he's got some fighting. He's got some shooting. He's got a little bit. He's got some nice claw shots that can sit back on object. There's a lot of a lot of stuff to like in this list.
Its weakest aspect is speed, so it doesn't get to pick engagements. But it's also a list that really doesn't want to. It doesn't care. It's similar to Travis's, where it's the kill box. Like, you walk and it's a faster kill box, so you walk it forward, you take board control because you're speed 6, and then you force them to come into you because you're gonna shoot them badly until they do, and if they don't, then you're still speed 6, and you will either corner them or force them to engage pretty quick.
The eternal question.
But yeah. I don't know where Ryan's sitting in terms of his experience recently. Obviously, he's gotten a Masters many times, so I'm sure he's doing quite good. I do think that this Ratkin list matches up pretty well against what he's bringing.
Yeah. I mean, I know, Ryan's a top player. I feel like even if he's not playing all the time, he's played this specific list a lot. And he's played these models as free dwarves, as regular dwarves, as forces of, he I think really knows this army. So I think even if he's feeling a little rusty, but maybe that's when you catch him. You catch him in game 1. He needs that one game to get back in the flow. And then, you're 0 degree down bubble submarining the rest of the way. But, that's tough to do at Masters submarine, but should be a good matchup for sure.
Yeah, right.
Okay, let's take a look at table number 28. We have Bart Kohler from Mid-Atlantic versus Ryan Smith from the South. So let's take a look first at Bart, the Ballad of Ballard, a Bart Bear production. I love it. I love it. You guys, man, it's so creative. He's got 3 hordes of scarecrows.
He's so creative.
Yeah, the naming is creative.
He's almost identical list.
Yeah, the name is good.
Yeah.
He's got 3 hordes of scarecrows, 3 troops of tormentors, a regiment of shadowhounds with Helm of the Drunken Ram, 3 soul flayers with Old King, Boots of Shriding, 2 fighting mind screeches, the Portal of Despair, the Butcher Flesh Ripper, and the 2 Dread Fiends, one with Orb of Towering Presence and one with Trickster's Wand. So 16 units, 29 unit strength. And then he's up against also Night Stalkers. And this is Ryan Smith's another beautiful army.
Yeah.
He's got 3 hordes of Scarecrows, 2 Reaper regiments, one with Blessing of the Gods, one with Brew of Strength, 2 Tormentor troops, Shadow Hounds with Helm of the Drunken Ram, Soul Flayers. He's got a horde of Fiends with Pipes of Terror, 2 Mind Screeches, Portal of Despair, a Horror, Conjurer Staff, Bane Chant, and a Dread Fiend. So 15 units, 30 unit strength.
So the irony is that even though Ryan's looks slightly different, it is functionally trying to do the same thing. This is what I mean by like Adam's found the Night Stalker like sweet spot, and like people are catching on. Ryan's big difference, I think, compared to the other one, because Bart's is pretty much Adam's list. I don't think there might be like one small tweak. I don't remember if Adam had the Shadow Hounds or not.
He did not.
Yeah, so he swapped in some Shadow Hounds instead of some of the smaller pieces, I think is the big difference.
Right.
And then on the flip side, Ryan has Reapers, distinctly, Reaper regiments with some upgrades, and less Soul Flayers, but still distinctly has Soul Flayers, Tormentors. Also brings a Fiend horde, which I think was more about the paint, because Ryan is a big hobby person.
Absolutely.
But he is still trying to do the same style of big hordes of Scarecrows and force you to engage. So this is going to be really funny to watch because they both are going to be trying to not fight Scarecrows and jumping all over each other. I probably give Bart the experience edge, especially if he's been practicing this list. But I will say that I played against Ryan and he absolutely just clobbered the crap out of me with those Reapers. They are. I think a lot of people negate them because they're slower compared to a lot of the new stuff, but they still hit like trucks. Like
they still hit hard.
Yeah, 20 attacks with, built-in either Crush 2 or Elite and Crush 1 with a Bane Chant option behind it. Like, and Vicious from he still has his horror. Yeah, there it is. It's like he's got the horror, so he's got the option for Vicious on top of it. Those will delete things.
They certainly will, and he's got enough smaller pieces to help deliver it, right?
Yeah, he'll buttress them in between the Scarecrows. Like he's got the space. Right. He can make sure that things can't get either double charged, or if he has to play other lists, he can angle the Scarecrow horde so that he can only get single charged by small things. He has options. I think people might discount Reapers just a little too quickly, but and if anything, that would be his advantage here, is that they would catch someone off. So Bart, who was listening but distinctly isn't now, don't let those charge you. They will kill things. They might even, they'll hurt those Scarecrow hordes too. Shoot. But yeah, I don't know who to call in this one. They're very similar style lists, and they're, at least from experience, I've played Ryan more recently than Bart. They're both relatively even experienced players, in my opinion. So this is about as close as I think I've seen.
But definitely a table to go check out these armies. Both armies are really nice. Some of the good, Ryan's is like, it's in shadow. It's a really interesting army.
Yeah.
Thinking about light, how does light work? Really great, fantastic hobbyists. So definitely a table to look out for. Table number 29. We have this table so Nate can finally go to bed. We have Harry Garrett from the Northeast playing Nathan Clevenger from the Southeast. So let's take a look at these lists. We have Harry playing Free Dwarves. He's got a troop of Free Dwarf Berserkers with Pathfinder. He's got 3 hordes of Earth Elementals, one with Brew of Strength. He's got a regiment of Stone Claw Riders, 2 Massive Hunting Packs, 3 greater earth elementals.
Mm-hmm.
One with the Kragath upgrade. He's got a dwarf priest with Surge, Bane Chant, and Scorch Earth, and then 2 heroes on large beasts, one with the Blade of the Beast Slayer. 13 drops, 22 unit strength. Nathan is bringing his Night Stalker, so he's got the 2 Bloodworm Legions, one's with Hammer of Measured Force, one with Blessing of the Gods. He's got a Reaper Regiment, 3 Phantom Troops, 2 regiments of Shadow Hounds, one with Brew of Strength and one with Helm of the Drunken Ram, 2 Soul Flayers. He's got a Mind Screech with a Planar Apparition. He's got a Horror with a Conjurer Staff, the Vicious Melee Aura, Lightning Bolt Bane Chant, and then he's got a Butcher Flesh Ripper with the Trickster's Wand. So 13 drops, 28 unit strength.
It's a rock list with only rocks.
Yeah, rock and rocks.
Yeah, rock and rocks.
Right. I think he's been doing this. He's been playing this list for about 2 years now, and at one point, I think he had 2 dwarves total in the list. He had the 2 kings and large beasts, and everything else was a rock. Right. But it's a mean list.
Yeah.
The problem that I see in this matchup,
but it's Nathan Clevenger.
It is Nate. It is a horde of bloodworms with the hammer. It is Shadowhounds with the Brew of Strength. It is Shadowhounds with the Helm of the Drunken Ram. And more importantly, after all that, it's that I don't think Harry's units have enough attacks to remove stuff before it either gets healed back or, shenanigans or inevitable flank charges, etc. You know what I mean?
Yeah, those bloodworms are going to be hard to shift. That's one of the biggest things. I do think they both have enough little flanky. Like he's got the 2 Lords and Large Beasts versus some Soul Flayers, so there will be some good tactical play here.
Absolutely.
I do think Nathan has the speed edge to potentially get in there and lock down, like basically create a locked line and then allow for the flanking stuff, and Nate kind of gets to dictate that.
Yep.
But it'll be close. This one's another one where I'm like, there's a lot of Earth Elementals, right?
Right. I think if Harry goes, because of the scenario, if he goes first, he'll be able to get a jump on sitting on the tokens and start farming. Right.
Force the issue.
And then Nate will have to shift him as opposed to the other way around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I would say, and for those, I know there's a crowd that is still watching and still drinking.
All 4 of you.
Yeah. They're more than that. I'm looking at the Discord numbers. I think terrain, this one matters. If Garrett gets a heavy terrain forested field, that'll hurt Nate more than it hurts him significantly. All the Pathfinder will kick in.
Yeah, agreed.
What do you want to fight bloodworms with Hammer of Measured Force against, right? Like a defense 6 large infantry.
Wait, that hits you on 4s?
So,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
exactly.
4s and 4s on 40 attacks.
Yep. Consistent
that's
10 wounds.
Yummy. Yeah, let me eat those rocks.
More than 10 technically, because he'll have vicious.
That's right.
And Nate's another guy who's been in the conversation around Masters a few times, right? Of being close there up at the top at the end. So another player who, spoiler alert, if you heard won Masters, you wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Right.
It'll be fun. Good match.
Great. Cool. Yeah.
That being said, I think that I say it now, Harry's going to be in the top 5 for attrition for the weekend.
Okay.
That list.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I could see games where he just none of his stuff dies.
Yeah. Well, more importantly, he will remove many points of his opponents. That's what I mean by that. It's deceptive. Sure. Like if things start going wrong, the points pile up.
Oh yeah.
You're throwing good units after bad.
Okay, let's take a look at table 30. We got Robert Southbine, Midwest, versus Ben Stoddard of the Pacific Northwest. So let's take a look at these lists. We have Robert's playing halflings. He's got 2 troops of stalwarts. He's got a horde with Heroes of Hodenberg, Hammer, Measured Force, and they're getting the gadgets and gizmos. He's got a couple poacher regiments, with one with Vile Oil. He's got 2 Edge Grenadiers regiments. He's got 3 regiments of Juggers. the Heinekens, the Guinness, and the Michelobes.
Delicious.
I love it. I love it. He's got Harvester, Dozer, and Tractor. He's got an Iron Beast Thresher. He's got an Engineer with Radiance of Life, Long Rifle, and Gadgets and Gizmos. And then we got Ben Stoddard is playing Twilightkin. He's got 2 Void Touch Mutant Troops. He's got 2 Phantom Troops. He's got Impalers. He's got 2 regiments and 2 hordes. We haven't seen a lot of Impalers today in the Twilightkin, so that's interesting. Got some Soul Flayers. He's got a regiment of Void Skiffs. 2 Gore Drakes, which is also interesting.
Yeah.
A Void Captain with Veteran of the Celestial War and Gnome Glass Shield. Summoner Crone, and a Navigator on a Skiff.
I actually think the Impalers make plenty of sense. I still think Impalers are good. The defense 6 wall, like there's siege breakers that have wild charge to still get up there when they need to.
Right.
Because certainly some people have mentioned that the speed 5 has made a difference on siege breakers. But obviously they're only crush 1 versus those, so like there's some give and take there. The bigger thing for me is the Gore Drakes, which I have seen before, so it's not that people don't take them, but it's always like one of those, like, I want to talk to the person, be like, hey, so what was your thought process? Like, how did you what made you want to take these? Because I want to know so I can figure out how to make this list more appealing. And on the other side, you got halflings, where you got juggers with cav regiments. Again, that does not shock me at all.
Yeah, and then just for the halflings list did get cut off here, so he also has in his list. Let me finish that. He's got a muster
There it
captain
is.
on a miniature Aralez with sure-footed captain, the boomstick, lightning bolt, and then he's also got a sorcerer with halfling hot pot, Brigitte Nugget Saffron. Who wouldn't want to eat from her hot pot? So sorry about that. So missing a couple characters on his.
Gotcha.
his
Yeah.
side.
I mean, the sorcerers are sorcerers, which from experience, they make a big difference with those cav. Because that brutal potential of up to 3 is absolutely terrifying. It just throws off so many of your number plans.
Right.
For sure.
I like the skiffs. I'm not biased at all. I like the navigator on skiff. I'm also not biased there. But yeah, I think that this is just a good front up matchup. I don't really know who to give an edge to here either. The Twilight can definitely have. He's got a Summoner Crone. Doesn't have Wind Blast though. Distinctly does have 1 unit of Soul Flayers. So he's got some. It's a little trickier to get like a straight up pick here. I think the halflings have it by the smidge, just because they have the speed to close.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And they also have the speed to flank.
Yeah,
Right. They have a bunch of stuff that is really scary if it gets out on the edges. And between the juggers and the edge grenadiers, it's like whoop, right?
yeah,
And if you have a lot of tools to get into Impaler flanks, all of a sudden they're defense 4. They're expensive defense 4 units. So
yeah.
I mean, he does have some tools, right, to maybe try to get in there.
I do think he's got enough stuff that, like, if I'm the Twilight King here, you find 2 buildings and you anchor, right? Like, which the downside for him is going to be this scenario is what favors halflings.
Agreed.
Because anytime you have to anchor, that means you can't play part of the board, and the halflings can play that, and that just means they only have to dive in, steal those tokens, and get out.
That's it.
Yeah, because you don't want to be at the point where it's like, I'm only going to fight over the middle stockpile and the right stockpile and give the left stockpile to my...
You got to at least
that
fight
means
the
like
middle.
you're fighting uphill.
It's dominated
right?
with extra
So,
steps.
Right.
Exactly. Ben is a great painter, too. His armies are always dripping with theme. So another player's choice army to take a look at.
Be cool to see.
But, yeah, both these armies are pretty cool armies, so definitely take a look. Okay, we saved the worst for second to last. No, I'm just kidding. We got Kyle Poole on table 31 from the Midwest playing Chris Pelletier, another fine gentleman from the Northeast.
Last year's Paragon.
Yes, really great, great dude, great player, good painter, all around nice chap. So let's take a look at Kyle's list first. He's got 3 Rabble Hordes. He's got Magwan's Cab Regiment. He's got Fleabag Chariots with short bows, and Chariot Legion with short bows and Sir Jesse's Boots. 3 War Trombones, 2 Sharp Sticks, 2 Wingets with bombs away, 2 Giants, Magua and Jojos, and then 3 Kings on Chariots. So 18 drops, 25 unit strength. Let's take a look at Chris Pelletier's list. He is playing whatever you want, I guess, which is in this time is Night Stalkers. Ooh, I don't think I've ever seen him play. Usually I always see him play as Undead.
Oh, this army's gorgeous, dude.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited to see it because I love his Undead army.
Yeah.
So I am super excited to see this. He's got Bloodworms, an Infantry Legion with Hammer and Measured Force, a Butcher Horde with Blade of Slashing, 2 Needlefang Regiments, 1 with the Scrying Gem, love it.
There you go.
Mind Screech with Planar Apparition, Heal, and Mind Fog. Ooh, 3 Terrors. God, these lists have been so cool. A Horror with the Aura, Vicious, Conjure Staff, Bane Chance, Scores Earth. And then the Tormentors formation with the Infantry Regiments of Tormentors and the Dream Hunter. 12 drops, 23 unit strength.
Yep.
I will be honest, it's been long enough. I don't remember what that specific formation does, because I remember the other ones that we changed up, but I don't remember this one. I think it's... No, because Elite Melee is what he did before. I could have sworn. I'll check it here in a second, but obviously it probably does something to make the Tormentors better.
Someone from the chat can tell us.
He's got the Horrors, so all those infantry are going to have Vicious. Right, because you take the Vicious Aura. 3 Terrors is fun. I've seen that's a big hit in Australia, apparently. Or at least it was a big hit in Australia when the update came through. And there are definitely a lot more infantry. That's, if there's one thing, hey, we did it. I'm just saying. Before there's not enough infantry in the game, well, now there are. So those Terrors are going to have a good time. Rampage is okay, y'all.
Yeah.
But and yeah,
this is the only giant that took Rampage over Slayer in the entire field.
Oh, from Kyle on this other side, he took one of each, right?
Yeah.
But
every other giant in the game took Slayer, and I was like, if this is what we're doing, then I know choices. There's choices, and then there's fake choices.
Yep. Yeah, Kyle's list looks very similar to what he ran before. I don't remember if he had triple kings on chariots, but everything else, like the double giants, that just looks like what I've seen Kyle run before. But yeah, it's
it seems an all-around pretty good combined arms goblin list,
right.
And one which he knows how to play and navigate
he'll play well as long as he doesn't have table 1 pressure on him, apparently.
Yeah, and like you said, was super close from last year on the top table.
I have made it my mission. I will never let him live that. But the best part is he did realize it immediately after he did it. Oh my god!
And this is another one. They're gonna have a really fun game. Both these guys are really great opponents. Both him and Chris, really great opponents.
Yeah, the triple terror. Tom brings up a good point. Triple terror versus Rabble is really cool, but there is a lot of stuff to shoot them, and they are low defense or low-ish defense. So it'll be a good fun game no matter what.
Okay, guys. We've done it. We've climbed the mountain. We are here. Our goal was to try to get you guys in and out in 3 hours. We did not achieve that, but we are here. And what a final table. Table number 32. We have Eric Trowbridge from the Midwest fighting Greg Person from the Northeast.
There you go.
What a great matchup. So Eric Trowbridge, former U.S. Master. He is bringing dwarves. So he's got 4 regiments of Iron Guard with throwing mastiffs. He's got a horde of shield breakers with blessing of the gods, another horde of shield breakers, 2 berserker Brock Rider troops, 2 flame belchers, which is interesting, steel behemoth with Gollix Fury, a battle driller, and 2 lords on large beasts. So 14 units, 25 unit strength. And then he is playing against Greg Person, who I will get his list in 1 second because it did not make it on here.
I can speak to it.
Perfect.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah, he's
as I'm pulling it up.
No problem. He's got 3 Iron Guard regiments, so only 3 as opposed to 5 and 6. One of them with Liliana's Tear, all with Mastiffs. One of them with Brewer's Strength. So a regiment with Brewer's Strength.
Okay.
He's got a troop of Berserkers because he loves the models. He's got a horde of Shield Breakers because you should. He's got 2 troops of Sharpshooters. He has a horde of Earth Elementals with the Brew of Sharpness, which every time I think it's inefficient, he kills me with them, and so I've been told to be quiet.
Yeah.
Right. He's got 2 organ guns. He's got a Gollix Fury. He's got a Battle Driller. He has a Stone Priest with the Conjurer Staff, Surge, Bane Chant, and Mind Fog. He's got a Warsmith with the Edge Periscope, and he's got Faber Ironheart. So it's a little of this, a little of that, a little of that other thing. He's got a bunch of different pieces. This army also won Best Painted last year. It's gorgeous.
Beautiful army.
And really just every time I think that Greg is going to lose by turn 5, he's still in it. And on turn 6 or 7, he pulls it out, right? Because he's just got 1,000 different pieces that all do something different,
So, like, on the one hand, they both have kind of that core Iron Guard that we've seen with most of these dwarf lists. But then, other than Golok's Fury, it actually kind of breaks up a little bit. We have the +1 to hit Earth Elementals is definitely interesting. Because even Crush 1 base, like hitting on 3s, 18 attacks, brutal. And I assume I was trying to keep track of everything in that list, but I heard Bane Chant. Yes? No? Yeah. Okay, so
yes, sir.
So he's got the option to get up to effectively white stats, and speaking as someone who really hates whites, yeah,
right.
That'll hurt. And their defense 6 on top of that.
On top of that,
right,
brutal.
Yeah,
and right. So looking at Eric's list, I love hordes of shield breakers. More people should take them. Yep. The hammers go up, the hammers go down. They murder shit, right? So like between those and the troop of Brocks, I really like Eric's list for being able to control the counter. The counter will murder you. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's
the flame belchers are interesting.
I like those.
Yeah. Especially as chaff clearing, because 15 attacks on 4s is definitely not bad at all.
Right.
And they're a little bit more mobile compared to some of the other stuff. Double shield breaker is definitely money in this matchup. Mm-hmm. No kidding.
Absolutely.
They both took battle drillers, which I definitely feel was kind of an omission in some of the other lists we've seen. I do think battle drillers are an amazing tech piece.
I can't make them work, but I know they're good.
Yeah. It's not like everyone has to. It's one of those. They're in the good spot where like some people kind of know where they are, and some people like may not like them. But like that's good list, right? Like that's healthy right. Spot is we don't all agree that everyone should have one of these. So I'm like, these are. It's cool to see the battle driller. Not surprised to see dwarves on large beasts though. But it's also Eric Trowbridge.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, 2 great players. Like I said, Greg's army is beautiful. Eric, one of the best players, perennially one of the best players in the country. So this is going to be a great matchup too.
Right.
Absolutely.
And a very clean game between the 2 of them. Right.
Oh, yes. Super precise. Yeah, really great technical players.
I need to challenge Trowbridge at some event so I can get to play him. I still don't think I've actually gotten to get a game.
Be worth doing.
Well, fellas, we did it. We made it through. Only a few technical errors, but we got there. I just real quick, and then we'll let you guys go for the night. We know it's late. Just final thoughts. To me, what just stands out to me is just the variety of the armies outside of, there's a pretty standard dwarf list that's there, but I think there's a lot of really great, creative, interesting lists that are all different. What do you guys think? Final thoughts? Anything stand out to you as far as master, surprise performance, or any final thoughts before we wrap it up?
Are we asking who we think the master is going to be this year?
Yeah, who do you think? Do you have someone rising up for you? Are you unsure, or what do you think?
Well, he's thinking on that because I won't be able to pick that. It's just that's something I'm as good at. I will say, at least comparing to last year, we've definitely had the meta swap that I see here is that the ogre copy paste domination that we had last year has definitely broken up, which yay. Unfortunately, it's been replaced somewhat with a more staple dwarves. Some of them are more out there than others, but there's definitely a couple things that are clearly rising to the top. And then Night Stalkers, we're seeing certainly one staple list type out of them. But everything else was really diverse for the most part, which is really cool to see. I
am going to make two predictions. The first one is that dwarves will not win Masters.
Really?
Yep, I'm going to put money down that dwarves will not win Masters.
It hasn't happened since Alex. Cool. He's here, though. We've got Alex, we've got Trowbridge. You don't think the two former Masters piloting dwarves could win it?
I think between listen. I'm just saying. If I had to guess, if I put my money down, and then and that is also because they're my army of choice, and I'm really negative about my own brand, right? To be honest,
well, be a dwarf player if you didn't grumble, right?
That's exactly it, right? There it is, and then and you should. And then surprise performance. This was mentioned in the chat, and the more I think about it, the more I like it. I think Bart is going to be in the top 5. Yeah, he's got a great list, and he's just he knows what he's doing, and he's going to smile his way to the top, So
yeah, absolutely,
right.
Well, my prediction is everyone's going to have an awesome time. There's going to be a lot of great hugs. I will be on the craps table, so I'm really excited. I know, Mike, you and Corey are coming down early with the family. My girlfriend's going to be up there helping out.
Awesome.
I know a lot of people's partners and extended family, and we are one extended family. And Masters is the one time where we get to all come together from everywhere in the country and just have a bro down showdown. So it's going to be so much fun. I can't wait to hear you guys on the cast. We are, as a West region, we really respect the fact that when Masters is held on a coast, that it is a long travel.
Right.
So we have a lot in store for you guys of little extras. The facility is great. The Atlantis Casino and Hotel is a great resort. So we are so excited to be hosting everyone at this year's Masters. So I hope you guys had fun. For the cast, as far as the lists, the link to the lists will be posted in the Discord, the tournament Discord shortly, either tonight or first thing in the morning. Since it's late here, I will make sure I get those lists so you guys can peer those lists to your heart's content. And we'll see each other. It's only 2 weeks away. We'll see you guys when you come through. And thanks so much. And with that, keep countercharging.
Thank you, buddies.
Thanks for listening. And we'll see you next time on Countercharge. Please let us know what you thought of the show by emailing us at counterchargepodcast@gmail.com, on Twitter @countercharge15, or by commenting on the Countercharge Kings of War podcast Facebook group. If you enjoy the show, you can help others find out about it by leaving positive reviews on iTunes. Until next time, keep countercharging. Music is a composition of Kevin MacLeod and is licensed under Creative Commons.